Hey guys, welcome back to One Too Many, the podcast where we always have one too many. Today we got a special guest. We got Trippa MC with us.
What's up?
How you doing, man?
I'm good. What's happening?
Well, bro, really glad for you to be here today.
Pleasure.
For the first couple seconds, what we do as well is we ask you to give an elevator pitch to the camera or who you are, what you do. I think it's gonna be a bit hard for you because I feel like you've got so many things you do.
I've got a lot of hats.
So it's just what do you do?
All right. So basically, there's a lot of hats. That's,
Yeah.
that's a pretty
Usually it's pretty
big
easy.
question.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Trippa MC. Basically, I started as an MC in nightclubs, and I started hosting concerts, stuff like that. And then just sort of worked my way up. I now own my own nightclub, Shades, in the Fortitude Valley. Also tour my own international artists doing that. Own a shirt printing business, wearing one of the shirts now.
Nice.
Bit of promo. Yeah, so, and then also I've got a health journey as well. So I got diagnosed with some not great news.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to prove the doctors wrong.
Yeah.
So that's me in a
Nutshell.
In a nutshell.
I don't know. Yeah. Trying to compress it.
Suppose we'll dive into it, eh?
Yeah.
So with the MCing stuff, man.
Yeah.
So how'd that journey start? Where did you start?
It sounds really cliche, but I started off as a rapper.
Yeah, nice.
So I released a mixtape growing up in Logan, and I just started giving my own gigs, and I was always a better promoter than I was a actual rapper.
Yeah, nice.
So I would pack these places out, and then I'd come on and be like, yeah, cool. But what people saw was that I brought the people there.
Yeah.
I was getting a lot of, because back then, this was 15, 16, yeah, I won't go too much into how many years, but don't guess my age. But people just weren't doing that back then. So they were local artists had no pull whatsoever. And so I was packing out these places that shouldn't have been packed out. But I didn't learn anything about vocal coaching or anything like that. And I actually ripped my vocal cord. I found out when blood used to come out. I used to fall asleep and then wake up in the morning. There was blood everywhere, someone's just punched me.
Oh, shit.
So I went to the doctors, went to a specialist. They're like, "Oh, you ripped your vocal cord because did you ever warm up when you did anything?" I'm like, "No."
I'm not going to stretch muscles before I go to the gym.
Didn't even know you had to do that, bro.
Exactly right. So, so I had to sort of back off the pedal, and then I just went to the clubs and. I kept telling this guy, I was like, man, this was at Fitzy's M-Bar at Loganholme. He used to go off on a Thursday night.
Oh, Fitzy's is sick, bro.
Yeah, you remember
Yeah,
it?
I rate Fitzy's, bro.
So I used to go to Fitzy's and I was just begging the guy, come on, man, need me on the mic. And then one night he was just like, all right, here's the mic. And I was like, all right, fuck, what do I do?
Yeah, fuck. The whole time, what the fuck do I do?
So it was Return to the Mac. I would say, when I tell the story, I normally say, oh, these lights came down and everything, it's sprinkled and everything was nice and dandy, but it wasn't. It was Return of the Mac was playing. That was the first song I ever MC'd to. Had no idea what I was doing. But that was my first taste of it. And then from there, it was so stupid. I went to the big clubs after that because I knew how to promote myself. I knew how to pack it out sort of thing. And I took that knowledge and I took it there. When I went to those bigger clubs though, I had the people there, but when it came time for me to be on the mic, it was whack. It got to the point where I was like, after the set, I'd be like, oh, here's the mic. Don't even pay me. Don't do nothing. So then I was like, all right, I need to learn the craft, and that's sort of when I started looking at other MCs and sort of worked my way up from there.
Yeah, true. How did you destroy your vocal cords? Is that just from?
Because I did so many gigs.
Is that literally just from rapping and
rapping.
yelling?
Literally
and
rapping. Yeah,
that's wild.
Just straight fire out of the throat, eh?
Got some fire throat.
Got them 5 bars. No, yeah, just from too much rapping and stuff. Yeah, because obviously you want to have your sound check and stuff like that, and whenever just chill out.
Yeah,
I was
true.
recording heaps of songs. I'd smashed out heaps of content, but it just I know. Yeah,
You love your content, eh?
I love content. I was doing
Do
content.
you have one of those mixtapes laying around anywhere?
Probably.
Bro.
Probably.
I'd love to listen to it.
I got a lot. Yeah. I got sponsored by Pro Club. I don't know if you know what Pro Club is.
No.
So Pro Club is it's like these shirts and stuff, urban wear, they distribute them and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was actually on a Pro Club mixtape.
Yeah, true.
Oh, lit.
Yeah. I look back at that stuff now and I'm like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Making moves, bro.
Yeah, true. So after you got out of the so you started rapping and then you've you're better off making the events, right?
Yeah, that's what I learned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what was like your first event you like started running that wasn't with you in it? How did that go?
I wasn't rapping.
Yeah.
So I did. Obviously, I had resident spots. So Fitzy's, I was a resident.
Yeah.
And I started getting other resident spots as well. And but running my own event would probably be actually my camera guy might even be in that one. It was the Urban Love Radio Showcase that I did. Yeah, Sky Lotus.
Sky Lotus.
Urban Love Radio, yeah?
Yeah, so I used to be on 101 FM.
Yeah.
As a radio host, and it was pretty cool because it was like a local FM thing. So yeah, but like I had Chingy and Mari, and I had like
That's mad.
cool artists on there, which is pretty cool for Logan, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, Urban Love Radio Showcase. So I just put a whole bunch of local artists on, and once again I packed it out. Like I just knew how to promote.
Yeah.
And yeah, just from there I did my first stuff. I'll tell you what, this is a random story. I've never told the story.
Let's go. Exclusive content. Let's go.
Exclusive, right? I'll give you some exclusive content. So, are you familiar with the movie Wolf of Wall Street?
Yeah.
What do you think of the movie?
A great movie.
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen
I'm
it?
like the only one ever that hasn't seen it.
Yeah, that's wild. I didn't even know that.
I know.
That's
I'm like the
wild.
only one that hasn't seen it.
No, you got to watch it.
I
You
know.
got homework now.
Yeah,
all right?
100%.
So I watched that with my stepdad on the Sunday night. All right, Sunday we went to movies, went and watched it. I could not sleep all night, and I was like, man, how do I put this into my world? I don't do drugs, I don't smoke any of that, but how do I put this into my world? And I was like, all right, cool, I'm gonna get an event. So the next day, I like hit up all these venues, and I had Beanley Tavern. They signed me up, and they're like, yeah, cool. So I did my first event called Fresh Fridays, and yeah, just started packing it out.
Yeah,
And
hell
that's
yeah.
sort of that's really weird how like that motivated me, but I put it into my concept.
Yeah.
So that's how that was my first event. Yeah.
Yeah,
weekly
true.
event.
That's insane. That's literally insane. Like, how do you go promoting yourself, bro? Like, from obviously like not emceeing and like not rapping and stuff like that, like
Yeah.
to your first show, to your first MC gig. Like,
So
how did you come up with that promotion sort of thing? Like,
yeah, so I've got a pretty unique promotion, I feel. A lot of people don't like to shine light on themselves. A lot of people don't like, especially as an MC. So an MC has to have a presence.
Yeah,
Like if you're on there, like you MC, like it's kind of almost like a rapper, you know. You got to be up there, and people go, "Oh wow, cool! Like I want to be like him," sort of thing. Whereas I'm just me. Like,
yeah,
man, I'm called Trippa from way back in like year 8 because my feet were too big. I used to trip over. Like, that's how Trippa came.
yeah, sweet.
So when they're like, "Oh, you need a rap name," I was like, "Trippa MC."
yeah,
It's
hell
kind
yeah.
of fire.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know,
that's
so
it.
and I've always kept that name. I've never tried to rebrand or anything, but I try to always connect with the audience. I try to yeah, I mean, like even on TikTok, like I always get people go, "Oh, why would you do that? Why would you do that?" Like it's like, well, just do a dance. Who cares? You know.
Yeah,
and I did that with Facebook and stuff as well. I built a like page. And that like page went real crazy. I don't own that like page anymore because my Facebook got deleted. But if anyone knows any way how to get it back, let me know. But but just me putting myself out there. So back then it wasn't like the promoters sort of sat in the background and they put up like flyers and stuff like that. But I was in your face.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, I'm Trippa MC. I'm doing this. This is what we're doing. I documented everything. And just sort of built that core audience where like people like related to me and they could see like, hey, this is a real person. Before then, it was just like, oh, this company's doing it, this company's doing it, but you don't know who's behind that company.
Yeah.
So I was one of the first people to go, hey, I put my hand up, it's me, and yeah, this is what I'm doing.
Bro, that's how we sort of got you on here, man. Because, like, you just popping up on people's Snapchats and fucking my Instagram, bro. Like, I had no idea who you were for the life of me, dude.
Yeah.
Like, for ages, but you were just on my Instagram. And then I'll just go, oh, he's doing no shades. That's crazy. And, like, just seeing your content pop up and pop up and pop up. And I was like, we should hit him up. Like,
Yeah.
get him
Yeah.
on, you know? Like, it was good.
No, I appreciate boys having me. It's
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, even today. So like Dan, like I was obviously own shades. And Dan Murphy had a special on cruises, so I went down Dan Murphy and I bought like a lot. I bought a lot. It was on special. But that saved me $40. But with the girl that was serving me, she's like, "Oh, you having a party?" And I was like, "Oh, nah, like
Kind of, but
Yeah.
like a little bit.
you can come." Like
All weekend, bro.
everyone's invited. But yeah, so she like when I told her, I was like, "Oh, I own shades in Fortitude Valley." She was like, "Oh, what? And you're here?" I was like, "Yeah, why wouldn't I be?" Like, you know what I mean? I just always, I'm the front man. I just do everything. Like,
Yeah.
that's the way I do
Well,
it.
we came and visited. I can't even say the word.
Words, bro.
Visited
Words.
you. It's the one beer, man. It's got me wrong.
Yeah.
We came and saw you on was it Saturday night?
No, it
Yeah,
was
no,
Friday.
Friday night.
Yeah.
Friday night, and like
Yeah.
you were behind the bar serving drinks. You were like
Yeah.
all everywhere.
Yeah, and that's the way to be. Like, I always try to tell my staff, I was like, just because you're a bartender doesn't mean you're too good to pick up a glass.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I don't know if are you familiar with the Rose Brothers?
No.
So Rose Brothers, they do No Limit Boxing, and they put on like the Paul Gallen
nice.
fight.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
example,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
them.
Isn't he fighting 2 people coming up? Just saying.
Yeah.
Paul
Yeah.
Gallen.
Yeah, he's fighting
fuck,
2
bro.
Maroon players.
Yeah, yeah. I've got the after party. I got locked it in today, but
Oh,
There
let's
you
go.
go.
so every time they're here, they tend to have the after party at Shades. So I've just built that relationship with them. So the first time I met them though, like it was all like over the phone and like Instagram stuff like that, but I never met them face to face. And the first time I had them at Shades, I was running around like I was glassy. Like they said, "Oh, we'll be busy," and I was like, it was a Wednesday night, and I was like, "Oh, okay." So understaffed, my fault. Completely put my head up. So I was running around, madman, like picking up everything, being glassy and all that. And at the end of the night, I was like, "Hey man, look, like," because what they do is they go, "Oh, just count it up at the end of the night, we'll pay you."
Yeah.
So first time I was like, oh, because the bills freaking never up there.
Yeah.
But they're good for it. They're like really
Yeah.
good boys. I trust them now and stuff. And but yeah, anyway, at the end of the night, we built it up. And I was like, hey, this is what you owe. And they're like, oh, yep, cool. We'll just sort it out with the owner. I was like, oh, I am the owner. They're like, but you were picking up the glasses.
Wouldn't expect it. Eh?
I was like, I said, the way I look at it, if something needs to be done, you just do it.
100%.
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like,
And that is a good boss mentality as well.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to tell someone to do something that you're not willing to do yourself.
yeah, 100%.
And that's how it needs to be
exactly
run.
what I tell all my staff. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask you to do anything that I wouldn't do.
Yeah.
That's it.
And like during COVID and stuff, man, I was doing like everything.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
How'd you go through COVID, bro? Because I like know the Valley pretty much just fucking shut down, bro. So like,
Yeah.
how'd you maintain
So
the club and all that?
Shades been around since 2016.
Yeah.
And down the road, I used to have a business partner at Lost Bar. So there was like Lost Bar and Shades was trading out of it.
Yeah.
So my business partner owned Lost, and he then went and sold Lost, and there was another business partner that came on, but I didn't get along with that business partner. I knew straight away their vision, and I knew that they'll stuff the club.
Yeah.
So from there, I was like, all right, cool. What's my next step? And I just keep elevating myself. You know, you have your first. It's just like with the promotions, you know, you have your first thing. You just got to keep moving your way up. So my next step was like, I got to get a club. So I started saving money, got a club. Tried to get business partners, and everyone's like, oh, let's open up this, let's do this together, invest my money, blah, blah, blah. But when it came push shove, like
Yeah.
nobody had money.
All talk until it
100%.
actually comes down to it.
Yeah.
Eh?
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, whatever. So things were really, really tight, but I bought a club,
Invested in yourself.
and it was really tight. Like
Yeah.
I'm like, tight.
Yeah.
But I did it and signed a dotted line on the 31st of January. 2 weeks renovation, then opened up, and a couple of weeks later, bang, you closed for 6 months.
Fuck, bro.
You know what I mean? Like, and I learnt then a lot about myself, because if I had 50 grand in my account, I'd be stressed.
Yeah.
Now the most I got into debt was 280 grand.
Yeah, fuck.
When you're that much in debt, you're just like,
It's just a number at that point.
yeah, it is. It honestly is. But in the back of your head, you're like, once this club comes back up,
You're good.
I'm good.
Yeah.
And just trying to fight off the debt collectors, really.
Yeah.
Because that's another thing, man. They was like, you still got to pay your insurance. You still got to pay your rent. You still got to pay electricity. So, because like for a club, because you use so much power, like all the air cons and everything, like you're on a large grid. So you've got to pay like money every month, even if you're not using it. Like I literally, first thing I did was like unplug everything. I was like,
Yeah, I'm not
turn
moving
everything
that.
off. And I still get all these bills, and I'm like, what the hell? But I knew once I'll be open, I'll be right.
Yeah, sweet. That's
Fuck.
crazy, man. Fucking owning a club's crazy. What's the competition like in the Valley, like between clubs and stuff like that? Is there much politics that you got to
I'll tell you what, ask me that question 17 years ago,
Yeah.
and it was like World War.
Yeah.
Like no other club spoke to any other club. It was just like us versus them mentality. And then just as things evolved and people got more mature and stuff like that, I talk to the clubs regularly. There's a lot of clubs. Like a guy from Scarletta, so I let him, hey man, there's a special on Belvedere. Here, go here.
Yeah.
You know? Or there's a special on Red Bull if you go with this company. And
Yeah, man.
so we just help each other out.
The biggest thing I think in especially in like business is you don't want to make enemies. You need to make friends. You need to make, because in the end they're going to help you as much as you can help them.
Yeah.
And that's how it always is in business.
Yeah.
So you definitely got the right mindset, because I know a lot of people see everyone else's competition. Maybe not like in the Valley. I got to know how it is there, but
Just business in
business
general.
in general.
Yeah.
Like even like other people like in the social media space, everyone like you need to be able to collab with people and make friends basically with everyone.
Yeah,
And
you
that's
do.
like
You network.
and that's the most powerful way to grow in anything.
See, what people don't realize is like with all the American artists that I've done if somebody releases, like, say for example, Neo releases an album, it's not just Neo going, "Hey guys, I've released an album." It's like this whole network of artists going, "Hey, Neo released an album." They're not even on it. They're not featured on it. Whatever.
Yeah.
They still go, "Hey, he released it," and that's how, like, because if he wins, everybody wins.
Exactly.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, that's
That's
that's the way I look at it. But Trippa MC as a brand cops a lot of hate.
really.
Yeah. Like, take shades away, Trippa MC as a brand copped a lot of hate. That's just because I was always the front man. Because a lot of people were like, "Why is this guy putting himself at the front? Like,
Yeah.
Who's this guy?" Because, man, look at me. Like, I'm a skinny white dude from Logan, MCing, like, you know, running around with all these international artists. I get it.
It's
I
a
get
different. People don't like different,
Yeah.
and people like don't like people putting themselves out there that think or doing things that they want to do that they can't do.
Yeah, exactly. Like, the amount of times I was MCing on a stage, and it was weird. I always had, like, Islanders, like, they were, like, the drunk Islanders at the back, like, they were always the ones that, like, you know, like, having a go at me and stuff.
Oh, really?
For real?
Like, yeah.
I
which
was-
is
Bro, you'd think
crazy,
they'd
'cause
be
I've
the
got
most
so many
supportive,
Islander
bro.
friends.
Yeah,
I've got
bro.
so many Islander friends. I grew up in Logan. I went to Marsden, like, yeah, but that's I always found that really weird. Yeah.
Wow.
But people just yell shit at you while you're trying to MC, and it's like, oh.
Would you say you
whatever.
copped the most hate with the Paulie D fucking haircut and the chain and stuff? Because I've seen that.
Yeah, I copped a lot. I copped a lot.
Photo radio.
I copped a lot. So, but so the background story with that was I was getting plateau with my MCing.
Yeah.
I had all these residents from Wednesday to Sunday. I was MCing, but everything was plateaued. I was like, "Oh, man, I need to go to the next level. I need to go to the next level." And I actually watched the Paulie D series that he done, like his own show.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Man, that's crazy." Like, he started DJing from a little club, and like now he's like packing out all this stuff. And so when I did the Trippa D haircut,
Trippa D.
yeah. So when I did that, it was more like a motivation, like, because sometimes I got to the point where, like, I have to go MC at Shooters down Gold Coast. I got to drive 40 minutes. I'm so tired. Literally just woke up, went to Fitzy's, and go back to sleep. And I didn't want to get plateau like that, so I literally, like, the haircut in itself, like, to style it, it took about 40 minutes.
Bro.
So I was wide awake.
That's not even worth
Insane,
it.
dude.
But like, every time I did it, I was like, "All right, cool. I did all this effort.
I gotta go.
I gotta go.
Yeah.
It's game
Yeah,
time.
bro.
I'm gonna MC my best every single time."
It's like the whole thing of like, oh, I want to go for a run. You put your shoes on. Oh, I have to go.
Yep, exactly.
It's the same
So that
mentality.
that to me at that stage kept me motivated, and it got me like a new crowd. So like because the people that go clubbing and stuff changes every 4 years, because obviously people get into relationships, they settle down, things
People
like
get
that.
older, bro.
Yeah, people get older as well, and so everything changes. So you got to try and reinvent yourself.
100%.
And that Tripper like Paulie D thing, like, sort of invents but I got a whole new audience from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's
You've had a fair few people as well, like that you've, I guess, brought over, like the what's it called? Like, fuck, what am I saying? Toured with. That's yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
So like, what's like the biggest crowd you've like performed in front of doing all that?
Probably a sold out River stage.
Fuck, that's
I've got a
insane.
photo. I've got a photo of me. So Nelly just came up and gave me the mic, and he's like, "All right, finish it off." And I was like, "Oh, yep."
You'd have to send us that photo, bro. We'll pull it
Yeah.
out right
I'll
here.
send you the photo.
Yeah,
It's an
send
epic
us photo. They'll pull it all up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's an epic photo.
Yeah.
That's probably the most. Yeah, the most. But
That would have been a surreal feeling too.
yeah, it's crazy how I started with the international stuff, eh? 'Cause,
Yeah, how
like,
did that start, bro?
man? I was at work and I just got a phone call going, "Hey, do you want to drive for Chris Brown?"
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Wait, you want to
No
drive?
way, dude.
First, like, and I was like, yeah, I'll get the day off.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Bet I'm sick.
I quit today, bro.
So I told everyone at my work, I'm like, "Hey, I think I'm driving Chris Brown around, eh?" And they're like, "Oh, whatever," because it was a factory job,
Yeah.
and you know how people always just talking factory jobs and stuff,
yeah.
and I was like, "Nah, I think I am, eh? Like, I think I'm gonna finish early and go do this."
That's
And,
insane.
Yeah, so we went and did that, and it was crazy. It was when Culture Kings was in front, like not where they are now down in Gold Coast, but it's where they were, like right at the start at Gold Coast, sort of thing. And so it was a completely different setup, and like it wasn't. I mean, back then you had Facebook, but it wasn't like social media wasn't like massive. Like this is probably
Instagram
like,
wasn't really.
There wasn't
Yeah.
lives and all that
yeah,
shit.
like
yeah,
it was
yeah.
2000.
You weren't having 3 lives at one time, you know.
Yeah.
Like right now.
And I got all angles covered. But yeah, so that was about 2012. He was here for Superfest, and basically like his DJ Baby Drew, we took him to Culture Kings, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, we can have 50% off," and he was like, "Oh, but I want to have everything for free," and they're like, "You need to get Chris Brown here." So we went and got Chris Brown. It was crazy. Within like 20 minutes, the whole street was like packed.
It's Chris Brown, dude. Like,
Yeah, like it just flew. I did ask him for a photo because the guy that got me the gig, I took a photo of them two.
Yeah.
And then I thought, I'll shoot my shot. I was like, hey, man, can I get a photo? He's like, yeah, at the club. And then he just kept
Sort of
like,
fucking moved it.
I was like, all good, all good. But the part that got me the most was, so there was all these people out the front. There was cops everywhere. They're trying to shut the street down. And they're like, hey, you need to move that van. Who owns that van? And that was the van that we came in. So I moved that van. And then I was like, oh, I'm outside. How do I get back in? So I text the guy, Scott Ferris, who hooked me up with a gig. And he's like, yep, told the security, whatever. And then all of a sudden, all these police just like came and made this walkway.
Yeah.
And I walked straight down.
Like,
and people from my work were actually like, oh my God, Trippa. You're here. And I was like, I told you.
Yeah, I'm fucking here. That's sick. That would have been, fucking, that would have been so much. That would have been like, you would have just felt fucking so cool.
I did. Honestly, I felt so cool. And this is the reason, and the same instant, this is why I've never had an ego. Because from there, I was like, wow, this is cool. Like, this is amazing. The next day, I was at Logan Hyperdome. I was like walking around, like, yeah, I'm gonna get everyone recognized me.
I'm the shit.
There was nothing. Nobody recognized me, nothing. So from that day on, I was like, I will never have an ego.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what artist I'm with, YG, Tyler, like Tiger, it doesn't matter. I don't care.
Down to earth,
Yeah,
eh?
doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't have any. That's why, like, when I see people do stuff and they have an ego, I'm just like, really? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys would see it in the social media aspects, you know.
We've been pretty good. We haven't really met anyone with a big ego yet, or even interviewed people.
Not really, bro.
Everyone's been pretty good.
Like pretty
Yeah.
good. They're not like superstars, you know what I mean? So that like big fame fucking thing hasn't
Yeah.
hit them yet or anything like that. Not to say it won't, but
I think
Yeah.
when we went to the rap show, like me and Harry, there was a few people there that were a bit like too cool for school kind of thing. Like we went to like a local rap thing. It was like Past the Mic.
Yeah.
And everyone there was great. And it was like, everyone was like, well, they were rappers and doing their thing. There was a few people that like you could tell were a bit of a high horse mentality, but everyone else like they're
pretty
all
cool.
right. Like I think Brisbane wise, everyone's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like no one's really too much.
I'll tell you what, it never used to be like that, eh?
Yeah.
So when I was doing international artists, because I was a local artist, I always tried to put local artists on. So like I put 3-4 local artists on and stuff like that. And some of the artists that I put on, they were like too cool to share the post that they're performing. And I was like, I'm putting you on, like, just promote it.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
cool for you.
Just,
This is cool for you. Like, these people aren't coming to see you. Like, you know, they want to see the artist. So I saw a lot of that. I got a lot of heartbreak from it. And that's sort of when I stepped away from the local artists.
yeah.
Yeah.
out of all the artists you've had, like who do you think had the biggest ego sort of thing? Like with that mentality, you know what I mean?
I'll tell you what, it's a guy that should not have an ego whatsoever. You probably don't even know the name, Maximilian.
Why have I heard of him?
He,
bro?
he sings Sexual Healing.
Yeah.
So like the remix, massive ego, massive
Yeah.
ego. So I had him at Shades when I was down the road at Lost Bar, and it was time to go on. Music started playing, and I'm like, "Hey, sweet man, to go on." He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm talking to a girl." I'm like,
No.
"Oh yeah, but your music's
Yeah,
playing."
but your
This is-
set's on,
yeah,
bro.
like
It's kind of the
camera's-
whole reason you're here.
Yeah,
She will be here after, I promise.
the camera's shining, like you know, you need to do your thing, and yeah, I had a nearly physical fight with him.
Oh, for real? Shit, dude.
Yeah, biggest clown.
Fuck.
Kept calling me a blood clot, like.
What?
A
Yeah,
blood
like
clot?
there's this Jamaican word. Oh, I forgot the
Oh,
Jamaican
bomber
word.
clot?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
was
yeah.
like, and then I found
Bro,
out.
our
it's like,
producer loves to say that word, bro.
Oh my
He fucking,
gosh.
yeah,
I've
bro.
never heard him say that.
You
He-
have not been around him enough, bro.
yeah.
Holy
yeah,
shit.
he called me that like good 20 times. Yeah,
Oh.
I didn't even know that was an insult, bro.
yeah. It was an insult to me. Like,
Like,
the
what?
way he used it. Yeah.
When someone insults you and you don't know what the insult means, that's the worst insult.
yeah.
He's like, I don't know what the fuck you meant. Thanks. I don't know. So name some of the biggest artists you have kind of worked with doing what you've been doing now.
Well, obviously Chris Brown, I would say is the biggest.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's not allowed
hands
back in
down.
Australia, is he? It's like Hobson.
Yeah.
You might see Chris Brown back soon. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, he's got
Exclusive. Exclusive.
You might see him soon.
Yeah,
There's pretty strict conditions though.
Yeah.
yeah.
There's
Well,
pretty
that was
strict
same with
conditions.
Tyler though. Didn't he just come back to Australia?
Yeah, Tyler Creator, he came back.
Yeah.
They say that he got.
Was he
banned
not
and
allowed
stuff.
in?
No, he is
Nah,
a
he-
charge for.
yeah.
I don't. What was his charge?
I can't remember what his charge was, to be honest. I'm not a fan of him, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
Me either, bro. I don't really rate his
I don't-
music, man.
I don't rate his music. I rate his personality.
Oh, fuck
Okay.
yeah.
That's me personally. You're the opposite, I'm guessing.
Oh no, like I don't know him. Like
Ah.
I've never met him. I don't resonate with his music.
Yeah, okay, fair.
It's just
Fair.
not my cup of tea.
Yeah. But yeah, what are some other artists? So you got Chris Brown.
Yeah, Chris Brown, obviously. man, it just depends what genre. Like I could say, like from an old school like Jara and Ashanti, because obviously like that's like your early 2000s.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, hell yeah.
man,
That would have been
they-
huge, bro.
yeah,
Back
Yeah.
in the day.
yeah, and that was actually
Throwing shots, bro.
Well, it's like Kid Ink, bro. Like I'm pretty sure when I
Yeah.
saw you on Friday, I was like, fuck, dude. Like I love Kid Ink. Like back in the day when I was going to high school and shit like that,
Yeah.
he was popping, bro.
Yeah.
But then like when I heard he came to Brisbane, like I only heard because of your story,
Yeah.
and then like a couple boys that went to the show or whatever it is. Other than that, I had
at
seen
Yamato. Is that how you say it?
Yeah,
Your
your manto.
Manto around Ipswich, man. It
Bro.
took me 46 minutes to get there from Brisbane. Like I live right in the city.
That's
Yeah,
wild.
bro.
Minutes to get there.
When I heard it was at your manto, I'm
Crazy.
like Ipswich out of all places, bro. Fucking that's where he's performing. Like I'm
Yeah.
like the Kid Ink. Like, but
Yeah.
I've seen no promotion apart from.
It's funny that you mentioned that, right? So last time he was here, I did 3 shows with him. I did Gold Coast, Brisbane, and Sunshine Coast.
Yeah.
I was with him for about 2 weeks. So then when he came back here, because I know the booking agent and stuff, and I spoke with him, and he's just like, oh, he wants a bit too much trip. Like, I don't think you'll go for it. And I was like, okay, cool. And he's like, I got a really good deal off another promoter. I was like, okay, cool. If you make money, make money. It's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do whatever you gotta do.
So I left it at that, all right? And he's like, oh, I'll hook you up with tickets. So I was like, all right, cool. So I told all my Shade staff, I was like, hey, guys, Kid Ink's coming. He's not going to be at Shades, but if you want tickets, I'll get you tickets. And I left it at that. That was left at that. That was it. And then a few weeks out, I get a phone call. Trip, we need your help. I said, what's going on? He's just like, well, the show's not selling. I was like, okay, cool, let's look at it. So he had the show for $75 tickets down the Gold Coast, but it was like Tweed Heads. He had doors open 6 p.m., show 6:30 on a Thursday.
That's
And I was like,
unrealistic,
all right,
bro.
yeah, that's just like
Yeah, you can't do that.
Tweed Heads is like crazy. Like, so I was like, all right, if it was my show, what I would do is I would slash tickets prices to $35 and do
Hell
it at
yeah.
a nightclub.
Yeah.
So it ended up being in Havana. So he took my advice there. Now with the Brisbane show, they really wanted me on it because as you saw it from my post. Right?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
When I go on something, I go hard. But I was like, to get me to do this, because they wanted me to buy the show. Like they just wanted me on it. Like, so I was nearly going to buy a show, but I knew I lowballed an offer. And I was like, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. So I
Yeah.
gave him an offer. I said, look, for this price, I'll buy the whole show. And then the other offer was like, okay, cool. You keep doing what you're doing. I'll give you a couple of $1,000s, but I'm going to sell tickets at this price and we'll cap it at this. Sort of try to work with him a bit. But you're going to do it at Shades.
Yeah.
So, obviously that my beneficial was like, the more people are there, more alcohol
promoting
sales.
yourself.
Yeah.
Of course.
Right. But I knew it would pack out. And they weren't keen on that. They could just do a ticket giveaway. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll do a ticket giveaway.
Mm.
And yeah, like, I don't think any money was made, to be honest.
Bro.
Well, let's say I even looked like
It
after
looked dead, bro.
after that, I looked at his socials. They're pretty weak at the moment. Like he's got like
Yeah.
4.6 million or something crazy, but like on the last like 4 or 5 posts, he's got like 500-600 likes on each post. So he's got 0 engagement.
Yeah.
So he's I don't know. He's
See,
a great artist.
Yeah. Like Kid Ink, when he was with Chris Brown, obviously, like,
Insane.
crazy
Yeah.
songs came out of that, like Show Me and stuff like that. But you get, like I said, you listen to him at school.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Right?
2013, bro.
2013,
12,
exactly.
2012,
Now,
2013.
he's
bro.
come out during then, and he's done crazy numbers. But I was even talking to one of my DJs about it. He's like, man, why is Kid Ink not selling? Why is Kid Ink not selling? I'm like,
Yeah.
but who's he relating to?
Yeah.
Is he relating to the people that have already seen him? Is it
Yeah.
related to the people that have already grown up? Like, he's not really on TikTok. Like, he doesn't have a TikTok, like 18, 19, 20, 23-year-old following. He doesn't have a cult following. So it's a hard sell. So you
Yeah.
just got to, like, with an artist like that, you've now got to package it up. Go, hey, come to Shades, free entry till this certain time. Like, that's why I do that. So when I have, like, Chillin' It, like, all those artists, like, I always go free entry for the first couple of hours, try to get people in and just package it up and just create a vibe. Like, it sucks because it's international artists, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
bro.
can't go, oh, hey, here's Kid Ink, buy tickets.
Yeah, we were talking
Yeah.
before outside about chilling it.
Yeah.
What are your experiences with him? You said you had nothing but great things to say.
Yeah, no, Chillin' It's cool. I've had him twice. So the first time I had Chillin' It, I fell into a promoter's trap because everyone he sold out. It wasn't Tivoli, it was the other one in Brisbane, Soundgarden.
Soundgarden.
Bro, Soundgarden.
No, different one.
Was it? Was it
You went to the
Soundgarden?
bar. Are you
Oh.
talking about- that was a bar. The actual thing
In
is
the
bigger.
valley?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the Live Nation venue. in
Yeah,
the
okay.
Valley.
Where
Yeah.
we went on Saturday night
Not the-
was next door to it. It's a bar that
Okay.
promotes it.
Okay.
No.
I was about to say, I was like,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's a venue. There's a big venue next door to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
They basically tried to take over for Eden Seal. That's what that venue was
I
designed
think
to do.
I fucking hate it. So
I love it. Like, there's a guy out there called Jono.
Yeah.
Top bloke, absolutely top bloke.
It's too far away.
Yeah, but for me, it's worth the travel. But see, once again,
you don't
right?
drink.
So, yeah, I don't drink. So,
I gotta pay the $200 Uber home. You know.
so for example, when Trippa MC was doing concerts, so every time I like Method Man, Redman, or whoever was out there, as soon as I announced, hey, we got this artist at Eden's Hill, the amount of crap I would cop for people having a Eden's Hill. But why? But my thing was like, where else are you gonna put them?
It's a good venue. It's just a shit location.
Did you have the underage and the normal, like over 18s and stuff like that?
Is that for chilling it?
Yeah. Oh no, for just Eden's
in
Hill.
the Eden's
Oh
Hill,
yeah. So I've done that. Yeah, I've
Fucking
done that
hate
before. Yeah. So you have the. Oh, I'll tell you a funny story. So I actually thought my career was over. Right? Like I did something. This is when vlogging was a big thing. So I had a camera and I was on stage with YG and I was like recording, getting dope footage, and he didn't realize that it was under 18, over 18, and he was telling people to flash.
No.
Yeah. So he got a few girls to flash.
Wait, were
like,
you at this concert?
I went to YG,
Yeah,
but I went to his
recent one.
Yeah.
In Eden's Hill.
Yeah, but it's probably not the same.
Yeah, so he did one a little bit afterwards.
Yeah, I went like a few
Yeah.
years back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can't remember what year it is.
No,
but-
me either, bro. Me either. It was a while ago.
Yeah,
I'm
so-
sure I didn't hear him say flash your tits, so like that's
Yeah.
probably
And then there was one girl went up on the shoulder. She flashed her boobs, but like they were like, "Oh, you got an itty bitty," like called her mosquito titties and stuff.
but she's like 15 in reality. Like
No,
that's fine.
this is downstairs.
This is
Oh, this is downstairs.
So
Oh,
this is still
shit.
overage.
Yeah,
right?
okay,
So
cool,
management and
cool.
everything, they're all letting it happen. Upstairs is
It's under 18.
Yeah.
So he goes, "Oh, what about the top?" And you just see the management run. And it's like, I'm like, "Oh no!" And the man told me, he's like, "Oh," but then he announced it. So he's like, "Oh, you guys are under 18." He goes, "I can't do that to you." Then he starts talking about real cool stuff like staying at school
Yeah.
and all
hell
that
yeah.
type of stuff. And then anyway, it was one of those things where I clickbaited it and I just put YG's shocking moment in Brisbane.
Yeah.
And I condensed it down and I showed it. Obviously, didn't show the girls flashing, but censored all that and I cut it up in a way. But then obviously had the under 18s. I put that into it. And it was a cool video. Anyway, I put it on my Trippa MC live page, went to bed. I woke up in the morning and my phone is like going crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the heck's happened here? That video reached 2 million views overnight.
Yeah, that's mad.
And I was like, oh man. And I've got all these missed calls from Eden's Hill, all these missed calls from the YG promoters. I'm like,
no.
what is going on? So I spoke to them. They're like, dude, YG wants to kill you.
Oh,
Like,
fuck.
this is bad. And
You don't want to beef with YG either.
Fuck no, bro. He's hard, bro.
Yeah, so that was not good. That was
Yeah.
really not good. I was in TMZ. I was like, if you Google it, YG Trippa MC Brisbane,
Yeah.
like it still comes up to Google.
TMZ
Like,
in the US.
yeah, TMZ.
That's
Yeah,
insane.
they're massive.
Like
yeah.
UK Daily Mail, like oh my gosh,
Yeah.
Sydney Herald, like it was everywhere. And then they started diving into like who Trippa MC is, and it was funny to see their conception. But the big story was like, hey, like because I'm known for international
Got
artists,
your name
Yeah.
out there, bro.
and I'm like, oh, I've got such a good relationship with Eden's Hill. I thought my career was done at that point. Eh?
Yeah.
Well, luckily, it's going to be done again because we're putting that on TikTok.
Yeah, fucking hell. That's coming up.
Yeah, but that was my YG moment. But it was funny how you say YG is hard and I shouldn't beef with him, right? So he was so wasted at the end of the concert, and I was trying to get him to Shades. I was like, hey man, you should come to Shades, and I had interaction with him.
It's
and-
$200 Uber, but it's going to be worth it.
It's
It was
YG,
worth
bro.
it.
He'll
Yeah.
afford that shit, bro. Probably free.
So I tried to get YG back,
Yeah.
and he was holding a bottle, and like he was just like he wasn't making sense. Like he was so wasted. I've got a video of him like talking to a tree. That's how like backstage he was wasted off his.
I don't know
nuts.
if we can have that video. Can,
Yeah.
can we?
If we can have that video, that'd be great.
Yeah,
but-
I'll give you the video.
Play right now.
Let's go.
But he was wasted as, and we got into because I was trying to say because at the start of the show he was like, yeah, cool, I'll come, and all these like entourage are like, yeah, cool, come.
Yeah,
Stu
yeah.
was like, yeah, we'll come, and then push come to shove, I was like, man, I gotta get the shades, but I gotta make sure this is locked in, and then we got into all of a sudden confrontation and stuff, and he spilled a drink, like he had a Corona, the Corona fell on my leg, went all on my leg. I don't drink, I don't want beer on me,
Yeah.
so I pushed him.
Oh shit.
And,
Oh, shit.
that was my reaction. And security guards came. Like, everything all right? I was like, yeah. And he had another beer. And then it just sort of went from there. Like,
Fuck, dude.
yeah. And then I was like, oh, I'm going.
Yeah, fuck, I gotta get out of here.
This isn't gonna end well.
Yeah, bro.
This isn't gonna end well. So that was the interaction I had with YG after the concert, and that was even before the video. So could you imagine like if
That
you
was,
saw
and
me?
then afterwards, he's still working at like Fuck.
Yeah.
Would you host him again?
Yeah.
Do you think he'll remember you?
I think he will remember me because he's passed. So the last time, like that time when he came,
Yeah.
his visa didn't get approved till the very, very last minute. They actually had to delay a flight for the visa to get approved.
Okay.
Jesus.
And there was a sketchy moment because it was underage and stuff. And all these other like concerts started coming out. Like all these other people were like, yeah, he did this in New Zealand. He did this. He did this. All these other things started coming out. So there was a very realistic thing that I have cost this guy a working visa in Australia.
Yeah.
So when he came out, few months, it was like stupid. It was like 6 months after sort of thing, after that show. I'm glad that he did because I would have felt bad if he couldn't have come back to Australia because of me. Sorry, man. Yeah. Crazy.
That would have been tough.
But I never got sued over that. I had some repercussions, definitely repercussions. Got a lot of hate for it, from industry people, but
Have you been sued before?
moved on. Yeah, I've been sued. I've been sued from R&B Fridays.
Oh shit! Why?
Yeah.
Fuck.
So I just got my shirt printing business,
Oh nice.
and
we
Shout out.
did actually see that. I looked at it, I'm like, he's got a shirt printing business. I want to go into a business with him later. We'll see what happens.
So I got my shirt printing business, and it was the first R&B Fridays, and I was like, I didn't know anything about lawsuits or copyright or whatever,
Yeah.
so I just did some cool R&B Friday shirts, and I had a falling out with the guys behind R&B Fridays. I tried to get some artists for after party. They were blowing me off. They're like, yeah, cool, we'll sort it. And I was like, 3 days to go, and they're like, yeah, Trip, we'll sort it. And I was like, well, I was gonna hit up the artist direct. So when somebody brings out an artist, and then if you go like behind them direct, it's like a big no.
Yeah.
Anyway, I did that, and I got the artist, and no, sorry, it was the second R&B Fridays. So the first R&B Fridays, I got the artist. So obviously I had a target on my back. So when then for the second R&B Fridays, I was doing shirts, and I didn't use their logo, but I used the colors, and I used not their pictures, but I used pictures of the artist. It was a cool shirt.
Yeah.
And man, I got this thing that was like this thick, and it was a cease and desist letter. I didn't know what it was. Brought it to my lawyer, and basically what it means is like, so once you get a cease and desist, it's like, say you've made $50 million, they can't touch that money. But if we give you the cease and desist letter and you sell a shirt for $20, they could that's their
all
$20.
yours.
Yeah.
That's how it works. But then, like, if you want to be real smart about it, you put a dot somewhere, and then they've got to give you another cease and desist letter. So you can do cheeky things like that. But yeah, R&B Fridays. That's the
Fucking hell.
first person that sued me.
Shit,
Yeah.
man. How many times? Yeah.
How much did they ask you? Just they won't ask you to say stop, basically.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
the cease and desist.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's cease and desist. And it's real crazy now because I actually became friends again with R&B Fridays. I was on R&B Fridays with Jaquan when they announced R&B Fridays for this year.
Yeah.
Um,
Are you going this year?
Yeah.
Are you doing this year? I told myself I'm not going to any concerts this year. I'm going to this one now.
Oh, that's
Oh,
mad.
nice.
Yeah,
That's
so
mad.
yeah.
I've never been to an R&B Fridays.
Really?
This is my first R&B Fridays.
See, like, to me, it's different because I know the artists.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah.
You know Akon?
I haven't had, I've known Akon's DJ. I've had
Yeah.
a lot of interactions with him. I've looked after him when he was here for Superfest, but I've never dealt with Akon
Yeah.
himself.
What's Akon's DJ's name?
Benny? DJ Benny or something?
No, I'm thinking about his manager maybe, or his best friend or some shit like that.
Oh.
Like, talks about him all the
Yeah.
time.
But I'd love to catch up with Akon and talk business. That
Fuck
dude is
yeah,
like a mogul in business.
He's insane.
Yeah.
Isn't he getting sued? Or isn't he in fucking legal trouble because of that whole city thing that he's trying to get going?
Yeah, I did see some clickbait about that. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Headlines.
Fuck. He's insane though, like to be doing that shit in Africa, bro. That's insane. Like,
Yeah, like that's just him trying to give back.
What's
Putting power
he
into
doing?
Well, he put power into his like one of these African villages, didn't he? Like,
Yeah. Basically,
for-
like built up an African village.
That's
sort of thing
pretty
from
fucking
scratch.
cool.
Yeah.
and he did it
Houses
for his grandma, man.
Yeah.
Like, so his grandma wouldn't move to the US or whatever
Yeah.
it is, and wouldn't leave his village or whatever it is, and they were struggling over there, so he just did it.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole.
But it's
village.
like he also owned like a diamond company, where
Mm.
like they mine for diamonds and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
and
He knows what he's doing.
yeah,
Dude, successful
yeah.
as. Well, oh, bro, nah. Since we're on Akon, right?
yeah.
So he did the song with 6ix9ine after 6ix9ine just got
yeah.
done for snitching and shit. How'd you feel about that? Because that
I don't-
kind
I
of
don't-
like
I don't know if
smudged
I'm
the
the
name.
I don't know if I'm the right person to talk to. I'm a big 6ix9ine fan, to be honest. So when 6ix9ine, no, let me tell you why. So when 6ix9ine first came out, I saw past everything and I knew exactly what he was doing.
Oh yeah, he's
I
smart
knew exactly
as
what he was
fuck,
doing.
dude.
So everyone was like, "Oh, who's this guy? Who's this guy?" I knew exactly what he was doing, and I was
Yeah.
like, "This is dope." Plus, when I first started being an MC and like years on, like for example, Akon, like, damn, he was a sexy chick. Like,
Yeah.
you know, those songs go up and down with Calvin Harris, features like that. Now it's sort of like I don't really even see yet shades because the songs are so plateau. It's like all monotone.
Yeah.
And when 6ix9ine came out, he for the first time in ages had like songs that went up, down, had like a beat drop and changed up, and I was like, this is cool, and it was my jam.
I'm not a fan, but I do enjoy it.
Yeah.
I think if I was in the same situation he would do, I would play it out exactly the same. I probably would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
Like in the snitching situation, I think.
Well,
So-
yeah, you wouldn't. Yeah. Well,
Like, if I was him, because like they fucked him over anyway. All those.
it's all bullshit, bro. Like, honestly, to be fair, like,
Aaron hates him,
bro, no.
Fucking
Well, I
hates
loved him, bro. When he first came out, I loved the shit out of him. But like that whole snitching thing got me going. But he's so smart, business wise.
So I'll tell you what about business wise, right? So before he went in for like before he had the charge and stuff, I was actually trying to do an Australian tour with him.
That would have been mental.
And the biggest thing was trying to get the visa for his charge.
Yeah, right.
He had an underage child pornography charge too, didn't he? Or something.
It wasn't a pornography charge, so he wasn't doing the actions, but he was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck.
Another thing that I saw actually in the news with the rapper, I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, where the fuck is Fetty Wap? And I was trying to figure out where the fuck he is.
So
And then suddenly, I see on my fucking
Just
Instagram
got charged
that he's just got charged
for
with cocaine, gun possession, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
5 years in prison, and he said he's taken the charge. He's not snitching on nothing.
Yeah.
I was like, that's pretty hard.
So
Yeah.
like I'll give you some background for like industry stuff
Yeah.
with Fetty Wap. So Fetty Wap was meant to come here. Oh man, probably like when he was massive.
Yeah.
He had like 3 or 4 number 1 hit songs like
Yeah, yeah.
in the top 10, whatever.
Mm.
He was massive.
He's fucking great.
And there was so he was meant to come over. And also when I don't know, do you remember Chris Brown got announced?
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
he couldn't come over because of all that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That was the biggest thing that happened in fucking Australia in like that long.
yeah.
It's the only thing that happened to Australia.
Because like so the industry part of it was like, so Fetty Wap was gonna come. All these people that I personally know invested like money. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't cheap. They invested money.
Yeah.
And anyway, this the guy that was doing it all, he just like took the money and never returned it.
Fuck.
Yeah.
He's done a bad deal, didn't he? Is that why he
What?
just kind of dropped off?
Nah, well he had a car accident. So
Oh.
he had a car accident, and that's why or motorbike accident or something, and then it got postponed, and then it just never happened because the guy took the money, and that was it.
Fuck.
Same thing with Chris Brown. Like a guy there was a guy in Adelaide. He actually committed suicide because he
lost
all his
everything.
money. Yeah.
That's
Like,
insane.
Fuck, that's tough.
So you know what I mean? Like as punters like yourselves, like you see that Chris Brown was about to come, but he didn't come. For me, is it like knowing these industry people? It's like I see, man, this guy lost his house. Man, this guy like, took his life. Like
Yeah.
That's
it's
insane.
a scary world, and it can happen like that. You can lose your house. Like you can,
Fuck.
lose a lot of money.
The industry's pretty scary, man. Like I hear heaps of people talk about it, and it's just like it's all like a facade sort of thing. Like at face value, if you look at it, it's just all like fun and shit like that. But
Yeah.
behind the scenes, bro, it's like heaps of work, heaps of fucking
Yeah,
like,
it is. It's stressful.
backstabbing, Like
It is.
insane.
There's so much backstabbing.
Yeah.
Everyone's out for themselves. Unless you get like, so I'm in a position now where I'm just chilled. I'm content with who I am.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to prove anything to anyone.
Yeah.
2015 and stuff, I had to prove everything to everything. You know, like the first concert that I half put on. So that was Nelly, Lupe Fiasco, and B.O.B. at River Stage. Not a bad concert.
There's a fucking huge
That's
names,
insane.
dude.
That's
Yeah.
fucking. That's
So
a big one.
I told the guys, I was like, look, let me be in charge of this. Let me be the Brisbane promoter for this leg. I'll sort it out.
Yeah.
There was another guy that they already got, but I was pretty much doing all the work.
Yeah.
So from there, I then like went on to my next thing. And it was actually Ja Rule and Ashanti. So when I announced Ja Rule and Ashanti, everyone was like, "Oh, this is stupid. You're gonna lose money." Blah 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 blah. I sold it out until
Yeah, no.
like
Yeah,
2,400 people on a Thursday night. I sold it out, and it was crazy. And then we got him back again like 2 years later, and did Gold Coast and stuff. And yeah,
That's mad.
yeah.
That's fucking insane.
Fucking, you got some cool stories, eh? Like with some, you've lived a life.
Yeah, like, but I try to be accessible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, I
well,
never-
100%. That's what, bro. Look at it. You're here,
Yeah,
sitting
like-
on our couch, bro. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like,
You're like sitting there, like, oh yeah, I drove around Chris Brown, or you sit on
Yeah,
in
bro.
a house in Mansfield on a
Yeah.
sofa. By the
like
way,
$50 or what? How much?
oh yeah,
These are
this-
comfy couches. Don't
oh,
worry.
if you want to see something crazy, no one actually knows this yet either.
Yeah.
These couches are actually painted black.
They're painted.
They're painted.
Yeah, dude. If you
So
actually
if
look
you,
onto
if
the
you
corner-
lift these up, you can not really, but yeah, they got painted black. They were actually green.
Green.
They were bright green couches. And we didn't know that when we bought them, but we bought them and Yeah, but they look good.
Yeah, do the part. It's all
They're
good.
comfy, bro.
They are.
They set the vibe.
Everyone always says like, it's got a very much like just chilling with the boys, drinking, having fun vibe. So
Yeah.
and it's what we're going for. So it worked well.
Yeah, that's it. But it's real crazy that you say, "Oh, like I've done this, done that." When I drive, people always like, "Trip, you're a crazy driver." I'm like, "Yeah, but I've driven Chris Brown, I've driven Ray J." Like, but yeah, my friends, they don't trust me when I'm driving. But now that I'm in a Tesla and it drives itself, they're like they're all good.
Because it drives itself.
It's because you're not driving.
Yeah. My mum was actually in the car with me one time. She goes, "Oh, son, you're a better driver." And I was like, "Oh, thanks, mum."
Just pretending to hold the wheel. Like.
Yeah, it's good.
But you bought your mum a Tesla.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I got out of COVID with the 280 in debt, when I had a little bit of money, her car was breaking down, so I bought her a Tesla.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know this. I got a Be Real. Are you on Be Real?
What's that?
Are you on Be Real?
No, what's that?
It's an app that sorry, and I can do it. It's the thing. Sorry, I gotta do it. But you get a notification once a day, and you've got to take a photo.
Yeah.
And it uploads only for one day to like the people that are on you. It's fucking cool app. You should get it.
Oh,
So
nice.
we're gonna do a Be Real together.
All right, for sure.
But it so it
You
takes
don't have to go front and back.
it's front and back. So it's like
Okay.
a front camera, back camera. So
Front and then us back, or
I don't know.
Both.
Well, why don't you, for the front camera, why don't you just take a selfie, and then for the back
Yeah.
camera, I'll get Brendan and.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, hell yeah, that's mad.
Actually, front camera's first, and you have to do it in under 2 minutes. Here we go.
Oh wow, so there's time pressure.
Get in it, bro. Oh.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's mad. Fucking
Put
social
that right
media,
here.
bro. Jesus Christ.
There's so much going on.
Oh, you've got the same camera.
He's got the slightly nicer one.
Oh,
And the much nicer mic and much nicer lens.
Yeah, he's got
But it works. We technically don't even own that camera yet either.
oh, you're still paying it off.
No, I stole it from one of my mates.
took
Oh,
it from a
wow.
man and just never gave it back.
Yeah, I was like, hey, I'm gonna borrow this for the weekend. He goes, yeah, sweet
Yeah.
as. That was like 6 months ago.
I was shooting. This was like years ago. I was shooting a pilot for MTV Show that they were doing about me for like reality TV show, and
I love how you just like drops
Jesus
that in.
Christ, bro.
it's like not even like a. It's like, oh yeah, by the way,
they gave me a Black Magic camera. Do you know what that is?
Negative.
I've heard of them though.
A Black Magic. It's like, do you know what they are, Brendan? They're like cinematic. They're crazy.
Yeah.
They're like top of the line. Anyway, they gave me one of them, and for doing the show, whatever. And like it was so cool, but I never even used it because it was just like because they like, oh, you have to buy a lens. And back then I was like not. Didn't have that
Trying
much
to
money,
grand in
so
debt.
yeah, I was like, oh, that's all right. So I just kept it in a box. Yeah, but they sent me a Black Magic camera.
All right, so
That's
let's talk about that then. What was the MTV show for?
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. So I just got approached saying, hey, you do all these international artists. We want to film you do it. So I was at the time I had a concert with Jalron Ashanti. Also Chingy was on there. Was anyone else on there? No, there was somebody else on there as well. Anyway, I was at Eden's Hill, your favorite venue, and they just came along and basically just filmed me and everything.
Just what you do.
Yeah.
Day in the life
What I
sort of
do.
thing? Or?
Yeah. I was with my daughter's mum at the time. It was like we're at the hotel, like waking up. They're like, "All right, just wake up." And I'm like, "Okay." Like, so
You're in my
Yeah.
fucking room.
yeah, exactly. Like they had all these cameras on you, and I'm like, "Wow, this is crazy." Yeah. But then it sucked because it could have been a really cool show,
Yeah.
but Chingy and that never signed the release form.
No.
Oh, so they couldn't release it.
Yeah.
They couldn't
So
even release
when they
the
were still in the
pilot.
States, like they were like, "Yep, cool."
Yeah.
And when we were here doing it, they were on it, and everything was cool. But they're like, we realized that they never signed the release forms, and they were chasing them for ages. Then I contacted them, and they're like, no.
True.
That's so shitty.
Yeah. So could have had a show on MTV, but yeah, just
fucking
never
artist, man.
was. I'll tell you a funny story about Chingy actually. So I did Chingy first time in 2010, and like I grew up like when Chingy was right there, like that was the song. Like,
Yeah.
Right though was my shit, bro.
It was
That was
crazy,
the
right?
shit.
So, so hosting him, I did a place called Magic City where I learned a lot of my craft from, and I was with him for about a week, and like back then he was pretty wild, so he used to drink a lot, and like it was probably like 2:00 in the morning, and I was still at the club, and he's like, I'm like, what? I'm like, what the hell? Like, I'm like, bro, what are you trying to say? Like, I've had no sleep. I've been babysitting you. What are you trying to say? And yeah, so we like just locked eyes and we stood up, did a little staunch, whatever, and that was saying we got separated, and things got a bit weird after that. But then like he started DMing me on Instagram, and we became friends.
Yeah, fuck
That's
yeah.
wild.
And then he came back so many times. Like, you remember that was a run where Chingy was here, like, felt like every season. And yeah, I always looked after him, did his shows and stuff. And yeah, became good friends, still talk now. So,
That's mad.
Yeah,
it's
true.
good.
How's he doing now? Like, he obviously doesn't release music and stuff, does he?
He does release music.
Oh, okay.
But it's just not, doesn't have that exposure
yeah.
like it used to. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
So back to your mum's Tesla, yeah?
Yeah.
So what else have you done for your mum, bro? Like, so penthouse?
Yeah, bought her a penthouse. She wanted to live this. She wanted to move to the city.
Yeah.
So I bought her
Still
a
live
penthouse.
there?
Yeah,
and-
she still lives there.
Nice,
yeah.
bro.
Bought her a penthouse. Yeah. So
Good
she was
shit.
pretty set. So she's got a Tesla, brand new Tesla, brand new penthouse
Yeah,
in the
dude.
city. She's good.
That's mad.
Yeah. But that's just who I am though. Like, I bought my 8-year-old daughter a house before I bought myself a house.
Saw
Yeah.
that, bro. And you renovated
You know?
it and everything
Yeah.
like that. Like, that's
Yeah.
insane.
And I
dude.
got my high school mates to paint because he's a painter. I got a quote. It was like 12.5 grand or something. I rang up my mate. I'm like, hey, do you want this gig?
Yeah,
I said,
yeah.
don't even screw me down on price. I'll rather just pay you because I know you. And he's
Yeah.
like, cool.
That's
Did a bit
cool.
extra for me and stuff, and yeah, it's a really nice house. Yeah,
That's sick, bro. Because I seen on your posts and stuff about your mum, especially. Oh, well, and your daughter as well. But
Yeah.
your mum, like, being like a big inspiration and big support
yeah,
system
she is
for you.
like
dude.
everything. Like from, like I used to play. This is another hat I've got on. I used to play cricket. Like I used to play like pretty high grade cricket.
Yeah,
and
true.
she used to drive me around.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
all the
that's
time,
right.
and whenever I needed it, like bang, she's there. I've
No.
lost my license a few times, so she's always driven me around. She used to drive me to my MC gigs when I lost my license.
But you're a great driver, you said.
Yeah,
When it's on autopilot, bro.
yeah. Didn't have autopilot in my Mercedes and Audi back then, but yeah, we're good now. We're good now. No more speeding and no more playing around.
Yeah, nice. Nice, bro. That's sick to see that, like, people give back, you know what I mean? Especially
Yeah.
people like you and stuff.
Yeah.
And you're obviously chilling. It's inspiration to give him back, obviously.
Yeah, we had a
Yeah.
conversation. First time I did chilling it, like I was telling you out there, like, I just bought the stuff for my mum, and I was like, oh, you should do something for your mum. And then a few months later, he made a Facebook post and
Yeah.
bought his mum a Jeep. And I wrote on there, oh yeah.
It's like,
listen.
where'd you get that
And
idea
then,
from?
yeah, and then next time he was at Shades, we had a chat about it. And
Yeah.
yeah, he's a good kid.
Yeah.
He's a good kid.
That's mad.
Yeah,
That's
he's definitely one of the many people, like one of the top people who Aaron definitely wants on.
If you're watching this, bro, come on, come on the podcast, man.
Yeah, nah, chilling is cool.
Yeah.
He's a cool guy, bro. So your health, man.
Yeah,
So I saw you spoke about it before,
Yeah.
and I obviously saw a few posts and stuff like that about it and whatnot.
Yeah.
So can you talk a bit about that?
Yeah, of
or-
course. So, it's a pretty crazy story.
Yeah.
So, it started off with I was playing professional cricket, first grade cricket. We were in the grand finals, and I've never been hit in the head ever. Never been hit in the head. And it was grand final, and I went for a pull shot, which is like shot over here.
Yeah, yeah.
I got hit under here, and like I didn't know where I was. I don't know why I like kept playing. It was stupid, but just sort of like looked around, like didn't know who my batting partner was. I was trying to hit the ball over here. I ended up over there. I kept going. I just remember this one guy, like the same guy, he bowled me another short ball, and like I'm a bit of a quick bowler, so I was like, I'll remember you. And when we got off, I just iced it. Didn't think much of it. Went and played. I got 7 for 15. Not bad figures, but like, yeah, won the grand final. Everything was all good. And I was FaceTime my partner at home, and then, I don't feel too good. And then it was bang, hit the ground. And yeah, we got rushed to hospital and had a concussion, first time ever. And then 2 weeks later, I was playing indoor cricket. Never been hit in my life.
Jesus.
And then I was hitting the ball beautifully. Yeah, my batting partner not so much. But this one ball he absolutely creamed. It was a bloody good shot. But I had the net right here, had nowhere to go. Bang, got hit here.
Oh, dude, other side.
Other side. So I was like, oh, I guess I'm concussed again. So, but the effects didn't hit me till like a few weeks later. Like I didn't know how to write. I didn't know how to really talk. I was
dude.
stuttering heaps. I couldn't have a conversation with you like this.
Wow.
So I had to go to rehab basically in Brisbane just to, for brain injuries. To learn.
Jeez.
Yeah. So now when like people are like, oh, I'm concussed, I'm like, whoa, man, do you actually know the effects of that?
Like, let me tell you a story.
Yeah. And like they always ask you and stuff because there's so many different people that in the unit that I saw, and they always go, oh, have you had any drugs? No, I don't do drugs. Have you had something to drink? Normally the answer was no, but this one occasion I had a few drinks, but I had a splitting headache. Like it felt like my head got caved in with an axe.
Yeah.
And I said, oh yeah, I had a drink. And they're like, oh, what, you had a drink? I was like, yeah. They're like, do you realize that after you have a concussion for 2 years, if you drink, you can have an epileptic fit. Once you do it once, bang, that's it. You've got an epileptic like fit for the rest of your life.
Jesus.
So I was like, all right, cool. Let's go cold turkey on that. So I canned that. And from there, I was like talking to Chingy because he's plant based, and I went vegan to basically help me out and stuff. And then last year I just wasn't feeling too hot, and went to the doctors and got diagnosed with a few things, terminal illnesses. Immune bowel disease, bowel cancer, and lupus.
Fuck, dude.
And the thing that got me the worst was lupus. Now lupus is, if you Google it, like there's no cure, like it's a disease that like there's no cure for it. You've got it for the rest of your life. That's one of the things that I've proved them wrong. So I've got 35 blood tests saying when I had it to like not when I had it.
And how'd you do that? Just from diet?
Yeah, eating was a lot. I had to change like eating like crazy, and also there's a guy that I saw. His name's E. He's like it was really weird because I always did shirts for him. And he's got a turmeric drink, and when he saw me, he's like, "You're sick." I was like, "Oh, I haven't told anyone." So that's weird. He's like, "Come see me, I'll fix you." And I was like, "Oh yeah, whatever." He's like, "Brother, why didn't you come talk to me? Like, you always do my shirts." And I was like, "I don't know, I'll just do your shirts."
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know.
Didn't know you were. Like,
So I went and saw him, and so with lupus, like it's like your body goes into a ball, like it just, and everything gets inflamed. So like if you touch me like that, like I'd scream. And so he used to give me special massages from
I love a good special massage.
I know, when I said it, I was like, did I really just say that?
Tuggies with the boys,
Tuggies with the boys.
But he gave me massages like from my back pointing outwards, and it had to do with your nervous system and stuff. And it basically, from me not being able to walk, and not being like, I was even at the club and I couldn't stay awake the whole night. I had to go down and sleep.
Wow.
Like, I was just, I was no good. Like I thought, there was a few times where I thought, nah, this is my last breath. Like,
fuck,
I'm out.
dude.
And he got me back. Like I was running, I played a bit of cricket afterwards, and
What are the side effects of that? So you're super tired.
Yeah,
and your body hurts,
yeah,
right?
just you're really inflamed. Yeah, you're really inflamed.
That
You get this
sounds
thing called a
so
butterfly
bad.
rash. So I didn't even know that the butterfly rash was an effect. I just thought I had sensitive skin, but that was actually an effect of lupus.
Wow.
Didn't even know. I had it for years. Didn't even know.
That's
Jeez.
wild.
But even when I was doing concerts and stuff, I had lupus, but I didn't know.
You're just powering through. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
just
just
powering through.
tired. Just part of it.
Because I just thought, it was part of it.
Yeah.
Because like doing concerts and stuff, it is so stressful. So
Yeah.
stressful.
I could fucking imagine.
Yeah.
What you feel comfortable? What are the other two? You had bowel cancer as well.
Yeah, so I got bowel cancer. That's what my dad died from. I keep getting chased up from out of hospital. Like it's got to the point now where like they've scheduled all these surgeries for me because I want to basically cut out half my stomach. But I'm like, no. Like, I mean, I beat lupus. Like that was unbeatable.
Yeah.
Let me just see how I go with it.
Yeah.
And I'm just doing stuff for it. And
That'd be a lot diet based, though, wouldn't it?
yeah.
A lot of diet, a lot of just like what you put into your body.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
So how you feeling?
I feel good. Like when you boys came on Friday, I was having a bad day.
Yeah.
So also like, if you're stressed about something, like all that symptoms, they go through the roof.
Yeah, right.
And I just had a bit of stress going on, and like, it just wasn't. So when I see you boys on Friday, I was like there but not there.
Yeah.
So that's basically how I was for a lot of months. Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
But I'm pretty good now. Like I know how to look after myself.
That's good. Manage the stress well and stuff like that, or try to at least.
Yeah. Like, I mean, yeah. COVID taught me how not to stress because, like I said, you're 250 odd grand in debt. You're like, oh well.
Yeah.
Well,
What do you want to eat today? You know.
We're having toasted sandwiches again, guys.
Yeah. It's good though. But actually, to avoid chilling it, the second time I had him was because that was on the back end of me getting cured, and I was like, man, I gotta step back into shades because the place was not even plateauing. It was on its way down, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And I had chill in it. I did free entry, went on TikTok. And one of the TikTok videos I actually did was like, because I don't like to say how much I pay for the artist because obviously that doesn't make the artist look good.
Yeah.
And also like I get a pretty good deal on the artist because I've like got the connects. You know, I didn't want to say that, but but so I didn't put up how much he was, but like I said, just give you guys an idea. Like I'm eating 2-minute noodles for like the next 2 weeks. And stuff like that. So you can do cool stuff like that with social media, you know?
Yeah, wow.
Because my whole thing was like with the artists and stuff like that. Because like I was wondering if you do pay them to show up to your club and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but obviously that's a thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. There's been some artists what I haven't paid.
Yeah.
And they just rock up.
Yeah.
And then there's some artists that obviously paying your book and oh, thanks for that. Yeah, there's some artists what you pay for. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
So you can promote it and stuff like that. But then you do cheeky stuff as well. So like at the moment, like I'm booking an artist today. Now I don't want to pay a performance fee, but I want to have the artist at my club.
Yeah.
So you say hosted by. So I did that with Will Singe, like a whole bunch of artists, and you say hosted by, but then they perform. You put in the contract, I'll perform 3 songs, but unadvertised.
Yeah.
So every time they come, they perform anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just say hosted by. So it's a little trick of the trade.
Who's your dream guest to play at Shades?
My dream guest.
That's the question I was gonna ask.
That's a good question.
Wow.
To be
That
honest.
is a good question. To be honest, I don't really know. There's no. Actually, you know what? 6ix9ine.
Yeah, that's
Straight up, 6ix9ine.
That would make.
Yeah.
I
it
would come and watch that.
It would.
though,
It
like-
would make a headline.
Yeah, it would. It would. Yeah, no, it would be 6ix9ine. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like for me, the most connection that I've had with an artist would be Tiger, which
Yeah.
as random as that sounds. So like the first time I looked after Tiger, I was just an MC. So I hosted his after party, and then the next time Tiger came out, I ran his Brisbane concert, and then the next time Tiger came out, I paid for the concert and I paid for the after party.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
So for me, Tiger's always got a special place because it's like my stepping stone.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
I try to always move forward. I was trying to go, oh, cool, what's the next step?
I went to his concert. Tiger was a
Yeah.
good show.
Which one?
Oh, I think it was like 3 years ago or so. I guess.
Was that the one where
It was
grass
at,
on the green
it was
at the Met?
Eaton's Hill.
Oh, that's my one. That would
Yeah.
have been on a Monday, Australian public holiday next
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, that was.
Sorry, it was on a Sunday with Monday being the...
Yeah, and that cost me like $400 to get back to Brisbane. Yeah.
Oh, nice. I'll tell you what,
Your favorite venue, bro?
man, one thing that annoyed me about that concert is, so obviously you paid the artist. Like,
Yeah.
I got a ripper deal. I don't know if anybody else is going to get Tiger for the money that I did because it was like a last minute add-on show.
Yeah.
And basically I put the offer out there and it was like, I combined it because normally it's separate, but I combined the show and I combined the after party and I said, oh, here. I didn't hear anything for like 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
All of a sudden, get a phone call. Trip, we're on. Oh, okay, cool. And everything was going good. And then I lost about 20, 30 grand of profit in the last 2 days.
Yeah.
All of a sudden he's like, I want a stripper pole, like for all my dancers. I want this, I want that. And it's like, well, this wasn't part of the contract. And he's like, and then he tried to blackball all the other promoters as well. They're like, well, if you don't do it, I won't come out.
Yeah,
And
fuck.
it's like, oh, so I'm like on the phone to Adelaide, Perth, and all these other ones, and I'm like, man, what do we do? Like,
I need a pole.
they're like, all right, whatever, let's just do it. So yeah, it was still a good show. I
Yeah.
just didn't make as much money as I potentially could have.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Is Chingy like the only artist you sort of keep in contact with now, or do you
No,
talk to
there's
people
still-
like
there's still-
Tiger and stuff like that?
Yeah, not Tiger. We don't have that type of
Yeah,
relationship.
yeah.
Yeah.
Tiger's just my stepping stone.
Yeah.
Like it just shows the evolution that I've had.
Of course.
And I'm very like fortunate, obviously, I have that evolution. But yeah, like still keep in contact with a lot of artists.
That's good,
Yeah.
man. It's good to
Yeah.
build those relationships. So
Yeah, and you just never know when they're coming back out. Like Chingy's coming back out. you
Is
know?
he?
Yeah, Chingy's coming back out.
can you spill that information or no?
Oh well, he's on the Juicy Festival,
Oh,
so
cool.
Yeah.
so I'm talking to him doing a sideshow or after party. Bow Wow, another one. He's
That
coming
would be
back
fucking
out.
cool.
Like,
Is he though? Is
Yeah.
Bow Wow cool?
I reckon so. I
Yeah,
reckon it'd be a cool.
when he was
concert
like
to go.
13. Yeah.
I don't know. I think it'd be right.
me and Bow Wow got a unique relationship as well. Yeah, it's a very unique relationship.
What do you mean? Now
Like
you gotta,
good,
you can't- you gotta
good
explain.
relationship.
Yeah, it's good. It's good now. So, but he
Now.
knows like when he tries to push the buttons, like I'm pretty down to earth guy. I like to think.
Yeah.
But if somebody pushes the buttons, like I just don't stand for it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like if you be mean to this guy for something, I'll take. What are you doing?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
you don't
yeah.
need to do
Yeah.
that. And we just finished a show in Gold Coast, and I was driving the van. Just got my license back. One of the times I got my license back, and we like girls were like fully in this van. Like we couldn't even close the door. We couldn't close the boot. There was so many girls.
Yeah.
And then the hotel was like 2 minutes away. And I was like, hey, man, I'll just do a couple of trips. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
And there was like police sitting right there. And we got into an argument. And he's like, oh, it's all right. I'll just tell him, like, I'll give him a signature. Like, I'm from like Mike. You know, they probably watched it growing up.
From like Mike. No.
So,
That's the ego coming through.
yeah. He had a pretty big ego that year that he came. And he, anyway, went to the hotel. I got out of the car straight away. So his auntie is his manager. And we're always really cool. She's always around. So
Yeah.
like, man, there'll be like groupies and stuff, and she's just there chilling, like, keeping an eye on things. But I'll get out of the van straight away, and I said, bro, don't talk to me like that. Don't do that. Like, you're not from here. Like, you know, you drive. Like, you can go anywhere. This is my license.
Yeah, this is not how it
You
works.
just got it back too.
I know. I just
And
got
you
it
can't
back
close
at
the
that
boot
stage.
because there's girls
Yeah.
in the fucking car.
Yeah. So
Pretty great problem to have, to be honest.
yeah, but like after that, the next day, he was cool.
Yeah.
He respected me so much more for that.
Yeah, dude.
And then when he came out the following year, I bought one of the shows and stuff, and we had a really good time. And he even apologized again. He was like, "Trip, I'm so sorry. I was wilding out. You know, I was having baby mama job, blah, blah." I'm like, "Yeah, that's cool, man." Like,
Yeah.
that's another thing as well. Like, you never know who you're going to work with. So you like keep your grudges on the, like, you don't have grudges.
You've got the same thing as the whole network.
water off your back.
Yeah.
Like, that's the way it's going to be. Like, yeah, if I kept a grudge for every DJ that I've had beef with, like, you know, you just never know who you're going to work with. Same with international artists, same with like promoters. You just never know who you're going to work with.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And you're a brand at the end of the day, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
Like,
yeah.
got to carry yourself professionally and
Yeah.
respectfully, you know?
Yeah.
Do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else you want to
bro.
ask? Do you have any, yeah, you do? Go on.
One more thing. What do you think about the Australian hip hop scene at the moment? Like the rap scene, the music scene, just
Like, you
all
talking
that.
about like the drillers that are coming up? Or you talking about like the Aussie hip hoppers?
Aussie hip hoppers and the drillers, man. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not really like into the whole drill scene, like Australian drill scene. You know what I mean? I think that's like pretty fucking.
There's a guy that I've interacted with called Wombat.
I love Wombat.
Wombat's sick,
Um,
yeah.
Like, now you look at him, right? He's a skinny white dude.
Yeah.
He raps real fast
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Now, if he came out 15, 17 years ago, he would absolutely get shredded. Just from the fact, oh, you're trying to be like Eminem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's when 8 Mile came out. Oh my god, me trying to be an MC, that was hard. But I mean, you look at it now, and everyone's just so more accepting.
Yeah.
You know, it's cool. Yeah, I haven't had him at Shades, but we have spoken about it.
His different though, eh? I wouldn't think his fan base is huge because he came out with Chillin' It, right? Like I heard the story
Yeah.
the other day that he was pretty much like I watched this interview actually. He was pretty much like drug abuse, man. Like him and his
Yeah.
mates and shit like that ended up in hospital. Like
Oh wow.
the day that Chillin' It called him, or he was meant to perform with Chillin' It or whatever it is, he was in the emergency room that night, like because of a drug overdose or whatever it is.
Wow.
And then Chillin' It's like calling his mates and shit. It's like, where is he? Like, rah, 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 rah. And then they told him. And then Chillin' It was like, all right, bro, pack up. You're coming on tour with me. And
Yeah.
it took him away from all those drugs, all that shit, bro. It took him on tour and stuff like that. Pretty much like he saved his life pretty much.
Wow, that's crazy. I
fucking
didn't know
cool.
that. I didn't know that. That's a good heartwarm story.
Yeah, dude, like insane. Like,
Yeah.
but you wouldn't hear about shit like that because Chillin' It doesn't really like come out and say that sort of stuff, you know,
Yeah.
about the people he helped and shit
No.
like that. So
Yeah.
like,
You
it's
know, like there's a thing that I do at Shades, right? So, but like there was a guy that just got in trouble for it. He was filming a homeless guy, Luke.
Luke
like,
Owen.
Luke Owen.
Yeah. Did you see that?
I didn't see it, but no.
Yeah, so
I
I
know
saw it.
Luke Owen.
Yeah. So he did a video basically, and there was a homeless guy getting bread out of a bin, and he filmed him. He was dressed up as a security guard. He's like, "Hey, put it back," and he got like so much hate from it. So much hate.
Realistically, I don't agree with that because I bet you Luke probably then gave him money, or I hope so.
Yeah.
Or
well,
let him have the bread.
he let
or
him have the
whatever.
bread. He
You
let
know,
him have the
like,
bread.
He let
after
him
that.
have
I'm not gonna.
bread,
hey,
bro.
like, it's not like he actually put the fucking bread away.
Yeah.
It's the whole thing of like with content, especially. There's a lot of
Yeah.
fucking snowflakes out there at the moment.
Yeah.
So like, I do agree. Probably, I wouldn't have done that,
Yeah.
or I would have then. Alright, cool. Now, like in the video, alright, let's go get you a bunch of food or whatever. Like help him out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
There's yeah, so like last night on TikTok I saw an apology video from him and stuff, and he was saying stuff. He goes, "Look, I shouldn't have done it. I just did it for views." But this was obviously before I was going to tell this story. So I've got a thing where like at Shades, obviously lost property, people lose their jackets, and
Yeah.
whatever else. I try to give it back. I give them a few weeks. If
Yeah.
it doesn't go, I actually donate it to the homeless people.
Yeah,
But I
that's
don't.
fucking cool.
I don't donate it to like places where you go.
Yeah,
I donate it firsthand,
yeah,
and I get my daughter to do it.
that's cool.
But I don't film any of that stuff.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
You
Like,
don't need to, bro.
yeah.
Like realistically.
And I
you don't.
installed that into my daughter. Like the day that my daughter got that house, I was like, all right, we need to go do something. So we went around and we handed out food and stuff like that around Brisbane because there's so many homeless people around Brisbane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
And I bought a house for myself that I'm renting out, investment house. And that day I was like, all right, cool, let's go give these jackets away, and that's what we do. But I don't film any of that stuff. Like there's some stuff that just doesn't need to be filmed.
100%.
Yeah.
That's very fucking noble though.
That's real nice, man.
Yeah. I was just like, if you have a win, you got to make sure somebody else has a win.
Yeah,
I like
dude.
that.
You know?
It's karma.
Yeah.
Goes full
100%.
circle, bro.
Yeah. The energy you put out is like the energy you get back.
Definitely, 100%. Big believer in that, bro. Like, it's nice to hear too. You need more people like you.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we have any stories you want to tell on here?
No. Any stories you just want to know?
So for you,
Anything
behind the camera, you won't be able to see this, but you've got TikTok Live, Instagram Live, and what else we have?
Facebook Live.
And Facebook Live.
Yeah.
That's insane.
So he's got you got 2 phones and an iPad doing live. I've never seen this before. I fucking love it.
That's insane.
It's fucking cool.
Insane.
Yo.
What advice would you give to someone coming up and they want to pursue a career like yours?
Yeah, dude. That's a good
Perfect.
question, man.
All right, that's a good one, Jesse. I like that one. Tom trying to talk to me about feet.
Yeah, the feet.
We'll go with this one. All right. So the advice that I would give. So how I started off was at 50 Zen Bar.
Yeah.
I never asked for payment.
Yeah.
I was a retail manager at Cash Converters at Bean Lee, and I was doing that during the day, and then on Thursdays I'd go MC. But I would MC to the point where I would say I'm a dope MC. Like I knew what the DJ was going to play before he played it.
Yeah,
Like
nice.
that's how much on I was. And I never asked for payment.
Yeah.
And then also I never tried to replace anybody. I never went where there wasn't a opportunity. A lot of the MC gigs I did, like there wasn't a host there. There wasn't an MC there. So I was like, oh, why don't you put me on? And that's sort of how I did it. But once again, I never asked for money. And then all of a sudden it's like I got to a really good level and the money just started coming in. Like it's like you guys were podcasting, right?
We're not just doing shit.
Fast forward 10 years. Like you guys might, if you guys keep going at it hard out,
Yeah.
you never know who's going to sponsor you or pay you or to do that.
Bro,
100%.
waiting for that day, bro. Like, honestly.
Yeah.
But, like, this is just fun, like I was saying before, man.
Yeah.
So, fuck.
There's just a lot of you got to be able to put in the work. What I noticed about guys now is like even when I was back in the day when I was putting local artists on, like man, they would just pay me this much. I'm like, be opening up. You can literally if I was you, I would get a cool photo. But I would take the photo of, when the artist performs at the back and it looks packed. I would use that photo as my photo.
Yeah.
Hey, I performed here tonight. Make it look cool. I would do videos and chop it up real cool and make it look really dope and use that to promote you to get the money and stuff. That's always been my thinking.
I think the money comes eventually. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. But you got to put in the work. There's
100%.
On TikTok, I've heaps of people have hit me up, go, hey, this is so cool. I want to buy my own nightclub, like blah, blah, blah. Like, I want to get into what you're doing. I'm like, yeah, cool. Come hang out. I used to hang out with the guy that I look up to, Scott Ferris. I used to hang out with him all the time for free, every Saturday for free.
Yeah,
I'd just be at the club, just watching him.
It's the best way to study, I guess.
Yeah. Like, I never went to uni for any of this stuff. I never done a degree for any of this stuff.
It just comes naturally, bro.
It's just learning. Like just shut up and sit back and just watch. And that's what I did. So even by the time I bought my nightclub, I knew exactly how to run a club. Like, because I sat back and I watched everybody else do it and I watched this and what to do, what not to do. And then when it came time, like that was my apprenticeship,
What's the worst part of owning a nightclub?
Oh gosh.
Is it the bathrooms after a night out?
Oh my gosh. Oh man, yeah. That can be, yeah. I've had some rotten things happen in the bathroom. I've had this guy. He was like half my size. I'm not the tallest guy. He I don't know what he did, but we got these cubicles. Did you go into the toilets?
Yeah, bro.
So those cubicles, I don't know what he did. I walked in there. The security had him by the neck, and I got a call on radio. Went in there. This dude. He was like, yeah, and what? And I walked in and everything was down on the ground. I'm like, how did you do this? Like this skinny, short dude.
What, he just fucked everything?
Yeah, the whole, the structure, everything was on the ground. I'm like, what the hell? And that was on a Friday night. I'm like, man, how am I going to get this fixed before Saturday?
Yeah.
Graffiti, that always sucks. There's a spray that I use. It gets it off, but man, it's such a toxic smell.
Boof off or whatever it is? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, oh man, it's just thinking about it now, it's disgusting. Obviously clogs, people shoving weird stuff down toilets, bottles and stuff, and then like taking craps on top of it. Like, yeah.
Bro, that's
Real weird.
disgusting,
Yeah,
bro.
real
I could
weird.
not. I could not. I used to clean toilets. Like,
Oh, wow.
no, sorry.
Brave man.
No. I used to own a pressure washing company,
Yeah.
and I got this contract to take care of this lot of land with like shops on it and toilets.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was cleaning toilets around there, and there was known to be a junkie that would hang around there a lot.
Yeah.
And they started locking all the toilets, so you couldn't go in there. The amount of shit I cleaned up on walls because this guy was like coming down of heroin and just needed to shit and just be shit like water all over the floor and everything.
Fuck, bro.
Terrible.
So
Never clean a toilet. Never do that. It's the worst job you could possibly
I've
have.
had that once, where a girl was waiting in line, getting her ID, but she was waiting for her friends, and she just the first time out since becoming a mum. And I don't know if you guys know, but how the human body works. But basically, like if you've had a baby, it's your bladder gets a bit weaker
Yeah.
for females, and she couldn't hold it, and she pissed up all of my wall, like right at the entry. And I'm like,
Fuck.
it was
That would have been so embarrassing though,
yeah.
for her.
But who do you reckon does worse, guys or girls' toilets?
I've always heard that girls are worse, but
Yeah,
I
man.
always think the guys are worse.
But I heard the girls are like
Girls.
fucking immaculate toilets, bro. Like,
Nah.
I'm going to like Prohibition or some shit, bro. You walk in a fucking Birdies, bro. You have to walk past the girls' bathroom to get to the boys' bathroom.
Yeah.
And it's just like mirrors everywhere. It just looks fucking nice, bro.
Yeah, but apparently they're gross. Girls are gross.
Yeah.
Girls are the worst.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah.
Wouldn't
If
think,
there's
eh?
been
Because-
if there's been a nugget on the ground, it's from the girls. If there's like they're used
Yeah.
Stuff.
Sanitary.
Yeah.
Sanitary equipment.
It's yeah. So one of the nights I wasn't working when I still had a business partner at Lost Bar, for some unknown reason, a girl went and she took a crap on the sanitizer bin. Like the toilet was right there. It was like in the first hour of opening, and but she took a crap on top of the sanitizer bin. Like why? Like what goes through your head?
I hate drunk people.
I know,
Jesus.
that's yeah. Toilets are pretty up there.
Yeah.
And just dealing with the drama as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of. I can make clubs look really like great. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I get all the girls. Oh, this, that. But the reality is, like, there's a lot of stuff.
I would say you got some talented bartenders, my friend.
They're not bad. They're not bad.
You got some talented bartenders
tell you
behind
what,
that bar.
He's been waiting to say that, bro. He's non-stop been talking about
I went on
that.
Saturday and I was like, I'm in love.
Friday.
On Friday. I was like, I'm in love with all of them.
I've hired most of them from TikTok.
That's
Oh,
cool.
sick.
Yeah, I hired them most of them from TikTok.
Yeah.
That's sick.
You've done a great job.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I try to always like we go back to what we were saying before. Like I never get my bartenders or workers to do whatever I wouldn't do.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
But the one policy that I have is always be truthful.
Mm.
I can have a girl or a guy ring me up and say, Trip, I don't feel like coming in tonight. I want to get shit faced. Okay, cool.
Mm.
I'll accept it. All right. But if you ring me and you go, oh, I'm not feeling too good, but then you're out at clubs
Yeah.
or you come into my club,
Has that happened before?
it happens all the
That's
time.
ridiculous.
Oh, fuck off. Bro, why would you do that?
Yeah, happens all the time. I've got a sore throat. And then I can't work this weekend. And then they're literally Friday and Saturday night at the club drinking. Like,
Yeah, that's a bit shitty.
But that's the one policy I try to have is
Yeah.
like just be truthful.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Honesty is
I
the
understand
best
like
policy.
these people, they're young, they like to go out and stuff like that. Like not everyone's like me that like works as hard and keeps to the one space.
Whenever you have employees, you can't expect them to work as hard as you.
You can't
Yeah,
because they don't know
that's
the
the one
company.
thing I
They
found.
don't own the company.
Exactly. They're not as
Yeah.
passionate. They don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
They're in there for the paycheck.
Yeah. But what I do find with my staff, and I appreciate very much, is that they do the extra mile for me.
Yeah.
I'd never ask them to, but they will. Like if they see something that's not right, but they finished, they'll stay the extra 20 minutes, half an hour to fix that up.
Yeah.
You know, without.
It's probably because you're a cool boss, dude. Like, you sound like a
Yeah.
mad
Yeah.
dude. You know what I mean?
Like I
Like-
just, yeah, I know. Yeah. So during COVID, I was the glassy.
Yeah.
So when we had the restrictions, it was what 1 per 4 square meters or something.
Mm.
So at that stage, we could have 105 people in the club, and yeah, I was the glassy. I couldn't afford to have another glassy on. I had 2 bartenders, and there was me.
Yeah.
So I did all that. So
Yeah.
now when I get my glasses, go, hey, there's a vomit over there. Like they can't turn around and go, oh, you wouldn't do this. Like I had to.
I did it.
Yeah,
I did it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So apologies for that.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. That's unfortunately yeah, just part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All that disgusting human fucking shit.
Yeah. There was one weird thing that happened in the toilets where my tiles came off.
Just
I
randomly,
put it
or?
on TikTok. Yeah, like it was. I went after like one night trading. Went in there because you go in there, but you always like hold your breath. You're like, what am I gonna find? It's like the not good surprises. And there was all these. Someone like literally like put all these tiles, but then they like put it real nicely in a pile, like on the ground.
That's nice.
Yeah, but I was like, why are you taking off the tiles?
Can you not?
And then
Thank you for being considerate and stacking it up
Yeah.
neatly for me.
Yeah, there's so many weird things that happen zoning a nightclub.
Yeah.
So many
Yeah, of
weird
course.
things. Yeah.
Just imagine, bro.
Yeah, but my favorite nights is when it's drama free. There's no fights, no arguments. The staff are having a good time, but they're busy because the staff like it when it's busy, and when the crowd's singing along, like when I've got the lights on and the song's cut and they're still singing the song.
Yeah.
Like that's when I turn around and I look around and I soak it all in, and I'm like,
It's a good night.
It's a good vibe, you know.
this is why I'm doing it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It makes the other nights, it's horrible. Sort of thing. Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, because there are some nights where like people just, oh man, I could give you another hour just on this, like on these stories. Like, we had this one fight happen in front of the club. Because we're sort of in an alleyway, so a lot of fights happen outside the club, but not even inside the club.
You got good space for it, bro. Like right outside. You got a great space for it, bro.
Crazy, right? So there was this one fight where my guards are like, oh, Trip, do we need to separate this? I was like, well, technically we do because,
it's not near us.
Yeah. So anyway, we separated it. And then all of a sudden, like, this girl, she starts going rank at us. And then, like, normally, like, obviously, you would have seen girls, like, take off their heels, take off their earrings. This girl took her jeans off.
Love that.
Took her jeans off. I was like, what? So she's, like, in her undies trying to fight, holding her jeans. And then when cops came, they're like, what's going on? And I told them what's going on. And she was like, what are you talking about? I didn't do it. Like, I'm not doing anything.
You have your pants on.
And I was like, I'm
sober.
Exactly. Like, why are your pants off? Like,
that's fucking terrible.
But yeah, there's so many things. Yeah. But unfortunately, like, bad stuff that does happen. Like, I've been hit so many times. Dude. I've been hit with heels. Oh, gosh. There was this one incident where, like, this girl came up and just started throwing her heels and like at the fence and started punching this fence. One of the things, like, when I got out of COVID, I don't know if you saw that fence out the front. So that cost me $22,000. For me at the time, I was like, man, this is going to be a dope fence. I had a different vision for it, but kind of didn't plan out. But anyway, it cost me $22,000. So when I see people like punching it and shit, I'm like, what are you doing?
It's my fucking fence.
Yeah, like I'm like, man,
that fence is worth more than your car.
It cost me a lot of money. Because before then, it was like a real dungy looking thing. It was disgusting. But so I got a nice fence in there. Anyway, she was like hitting the thing, and I said, hey, like, what are you doing? Can you stop that? And she's like, yeah, you white dog. I'm like, oh, I just told you to stop. Like, what's going on?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, and she like fully came and attacked me and stuff, and like this was in front of everyone on a busy Saturday night. I'm like, oh my gosh, like. So sometimes you just cop things and.
So you gotta take it. It's
Yeah.
part of
Girls
owning
or
it.
boys the worst at fights or causing drama? Yeah.
Girls, I reckon.
Yeah,
100%
dude.
the girls. Like, yeah, girls, 100%. I've been hit by guys a few times as well, but girls,
Yeah,
actually, I've been hit with more girls, I reckon.
Love
More-
that.
They drag it on a lot, eh? They
Yeah.
drag the fucking fight
They
on
just
way
get
past
emotion.
when it's over. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do. They have all that extra drama. Like I've been, like there was a guy. He because we've got a downstairs part and we had it locked off this particular night. I had an artist there. I think it was Lissy or something. Can't
I've
remember.
never been to this downstairs part.
Well, don't go there on Fridays because I sleep down there.
You do.
But yeah, so we've got this downstairs part, and I had it roped off for an artist that I had, and this person snuck down there, stole a bunch of drinks. So then he came up. We like saw that he came up, whatever, and it was obvious because he had all these unopened drinks. So we obviously took drinks off him, told him get out, about to close the door. He came, punched me, whatever. We just closed the door, and that was it.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't go like ballistic off of him, whatever, and that was it. But there's for some females, like they just carry on.
Yeah.
Like they carry on. There was one instance where I didn't even let the girls in. Like this girl, she was off her head, and I was like, nah, look, not tonight. And she's like ropeable. She's screaming, carrying on, and we get her out, and we get her downstairs, and we're about to close the door. As we close the door, she starts like haymakering my security guard. My security guard gets all busted up.
Fuck.
And I'm like, what the hell? And then like I'm like, oi, chill out, whatever. And then she attacked me. And then anyway, they left and we thought that was it. And then 10 minutes later, a security guard from a different club comes. And he's just like, oh, I heard you bash my daughter.
Oh,
And I was
what
like,
the fuck?
excuse me? And I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, yeah, you bashed my daughter. I was like, well, my security guard there, he's got a blood lip and a blood nose from when your daughter was punching her from behind. I've like got a mark on my face. Your daughter seems to be all right. Like I said, I'll show you the footage. Anyway, this carried on for about 5 minutes. I just kept telling her, I said, look, I'll come show you the footage of the removal. Like it was a really safe removal. She got aggressive. We didn't even pursue it. We just, whatever, enjoy night.
Yeah.
As like the dad was talking, she went and kicked, she punched me in the eye and she kicked my security guard in the balls.
What the
In front of her dad. And I like...
Okay, I know you can see who the problem is.
Yeah.
Quite
so
clearly.
like... And yeah, so I had my hands out. I'm like pleading with the dad. I'm like, control your daughter.
Yeah.
Like this is disgusting behavior. Like if my daughter ever did that, like holy crap. But I don't know, it just is what it is. But that's one of the things that I like, because police when they come, they said, "Oh, do you want to make a complaint charge?" Blah blah. Blah. I don't ever like for example, that guy that punched me in the face. That's why I brought it up. I did it.
Yeah.
Or whatever. The fact that these girls did that, walked off, got their dad said that they got bashed, came back and assaulted us again. I was like,
You sort of deserve the
bitchy
charge,
move,
bro.
man.
yeah, it's real crazy. And when police came, that like they thought that we were the instigators.
You're a male, and
Yeah,
she was pleading.
they're like, oh, but you know, like she just doesn't seem like that type. I'm like, what does that even mean?
Yeah,
You
bro.
know,
but
yeah, I laid charges on those two girls.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't even know
As
if I
you
can
should,
talk about it.
man.
I don't even know if I can talk about it because we're going to court and stuff. But yeah, just for the fact that there was no remorse.
No.
You know what I mean? Like I said, I've been hit heaps of times, and if there's a remorse, there's a remorse. Like the girls with the heels and stuff. When they were laying in. Now when I was like, they punched me probably like 4 or 5 times. Got hit with heels, whatever. I told those 2 girls to go that were punching my fence, the ones I was talking about earlier. I said, look, just go. Call it a night, just go. They kept hanging around, kept going on the fence and stuff. And when police came, like then they like started crying.
Yeah.
And I was like, but there was no remorse there whatsoever when you were doing it. I gave you a chance to go. Because I knew once my security guards came out, obviously like they'll get restrained. That's exactly what happened. So if people show remorse, then I'm more forgiving. But yeah, that's the second charge that I've laid. Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Clubs are fun.
Own a club.
Yeah. But these are things that happen like once in a blue moon.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. All right, we'll start wrapping up from there. At the end of every podcast, we always tell the person or ask the person to tell us the time they've had one too many. Therefore, the
you
name.
don't drink, so
It's gonna it's gonna be
Oh,
a
well,
bit of a
I mean,
harder
I used
one.
to drink. I used to drink.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, it was actually. Okay. Yeah. There's been a few. All right. So
We're looking for the top one. Like
the top one?
because we've had a lot of people say some stuff. I think Sam Mills probably is the top at the moment.
At the moment,
give me the background story of his one.
So he's not a big drinker or whatever. He was a young kid, and he just started this job, and this guy was like, "Oh, we're going out tonight." He's like, "Sweet as." So he went out. He ended up. The guy was like, "Here, have some Molly or whatever it was."
Never does
And
drugs.
Never does
too.
drugs. He still
Wow.
does
First and only time.
And he goes, he was shit scared, and he like had a bump, went to the bathroom and like got scared and like started like blowing it out.
Yeah.
Then it hit him, whatever, and he starts like dabbing from the bag all night. And
my
he
God.
says, "I don't remember anything. All I know, and what I've heard, is that I was in a gay bar and I was dancing with a bunch of guys with my shirt off. They were coming up to me and saying like, 'Oh, do you like boys or girls?' And he goes, 'I like you,' and then kissing them and stuff like that." So I think that's the top at the moment.
Wow.
So if you can top that,
I mean, you guys like the Tesla, obviously.
Yeah.
Like you were telling me before the podcast, that
Yep.
you like Tesla. I'll tell you a Tesla story. We went out drinking. This was the last night that I've ever drunk. And I thought, because like, I don't know, I was going through some stuff. And I just thought Green Fairy would be a really good idea. So I started having all these Green Fairy shots. Have you had Green Fairy before?
I'm not
64% alcohol. Don't have it.
fucking.
When we serve it at the bars, you literally see people just go, woo.
Yeah.
They're going to bed early. Anyway, so I live in Brisbane, and I was with one of my DJs, a few other people. They all went home, and then my DJ's like, "Hey, can you drop me off?" And I was like pretty blind by this stage, and I was like, "Oh yeah, cool." He lives in Beenleigh.
Yep.
And I was like, "Oh, okay." So I got on the highway. I was wasted by this point. Shouldn't be driving. Don't drink drive.
Oh, this is all
And,
alleged, by the way.
yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. His car drives itself.
yeah. Well, actually, I did put it into
Yeah.
self-driving mode, thankfully. And man, I vomited like on the highway, cars in self-drive, and then I vomited all on the side of my car.
Oh,
Yeah.
inside the car.
No, not inside,
Oh, out the
outside,
window.
outside. Yep. And I was getting my car wrapped like a few days later, and yeah, so I just like never cleaned it. everyone's like, you gotta clean it. I'm like, nah. Like, I'll get it in the car, right? Anyway, so they had to clean the spew off.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Fuck.
That's
That's hilarious.
That's bad.
To a Tesla too.
Don't
Yeah.
drink and drive, kids.
Yeah, no, definitely don't drink and drive.
Yeah, don't do that. That's the
Yeah.
worst.
Oh. Well, no, thank you for coming on, man.
Yeah, it's a pleasure having me.
This has been a long podcast as
It's
well.
been good. It's been good. We'll have to
Yeah.
get you on again, bro. I'm sure you have
Yeah.
plenty more
Yeah,
stories.
for
and
sure.
shit
Like I said,
that.
it's I find it hard because like when people when you say who are you, I'm like, oh,
What one?
not the fact that I'm saying I've done it all, but it's just like, you know, I'll rate myself being a really good dad up higher
Yeah,
there.
of
I
course.
love my daughter. I do everything for my daughter. Obviously, I've got the nightclub. I've done the artists. I've done the tours. I've done the concerts. I've been an MC. I've been an artist. So it's like, yeah, all these different
You've done
things.
everything, yeah.
And then there's also like business stuff as well. Like
Yeah,
I
definitely.
do a lot of investments and stuff as well. So
Would love to get into that and
Yeah.
stuff like that as well
Yeah.
eventually. So
yeah, do you guys do crypto or anything?
Yeah.
Fucking don't talk to me.
Also, today on my newsfeed on TikTok, it was just all like, I've lost this much money. I've lost this much money.
Yeah.
I didn't lose that much, but like, it just annoys me.
Yeah.
I hate losing.
yeah,
And I've definitely lost crypto.
yeah.
And yeah.
It'll come back up though.
Yeah.
well, I'm diamond hands, baby.
Yeah.
Diamond hands.
Well, see, like the thing I look at it is like it's like anything. When it's hot, people don't want to never want to like think that it's gonna go down.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and they're so quick to put things in, right? Even with the club, like now that the club's going and the club's going really, really good, I've got so many people like trying to shove money down my throat. Hey, let me buy this lunch. Let me buy. I'm like, no. Like I've done the hard yards. I'm good.
Yeah.
Like I'm good.
I need you then. Don't need you now.
Yeah, you know, and that's how it is. So the hardest part is when crypto's down. It's like, are you going to put your
More in.
more in?
And you got to do it.
And you got to do it. Yeah,
Bro, you gotta
like-
risk it,
Yeah,
man.
do
You
it.
gotta risk it to get the biscuit, bro.
that's it.
Yeah.
Gotta
That's
do it, man. Pays off.
Yeah, 100%.
And you got to think long term as well. So.
Well, yeah, definitely, bro. I had money in there like when it was booming, bro, and
Yeah.
I was making,
Yeah, it
I was
was-
making decent money, bro. Like I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, this is sick.
I remember buying Ethereum at 4,000. I was like, this is great.
Damn, I bought it at 2.8.
Yeah, no.
What,
I'm
bro?
like, it's never going to get below
When-
4.
When I saw Ethereum, bro, it's 300,
Damn.
300, bro.
Oh, I'll tell you a random story about Dogecoin. Obviously,
I fucking don't. I lost so much goddamn
I
money.
fucking hated it, bro. I didn't believe it. As soon as it started pumping, all my mates were like, put it in. And I'm like, nah, fuck that.
So I put heaps of money into it before anybody I heard
Even knew.
anybody talk
Yeah.
about it. And the reason is when I was a local artist, my group was called Dodgy Styles.
Nice.
So when I like do stuff, I like put money in whatever. I dabble in it. Like I bought heaps of coins like sushi just because I had a cool sushi
Yeah.
icon.
Pretty
Like,
sure
that's
I
how
own
do it.
sushi as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, there you go.
Yeah.
It's like so I just did that and I saw Dodge. I'm like, oh, it's Dodgy. Oh yeah, cool. I'll put some money
Yeah.
into that. And man, that was skyrocketed.
I was almost at $1.
Yeah.
Like AUD.
Well, it
Yeah.
went up like 100 and
Almost.
fuck, it's like a bajillion%, didn't it? At
Yeah.
one stage.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, it was
fucking
going crazy.
Yeah,
It
it was
was.
ridiculous.
It was the meme coin. It
and
was-
then like the partner I was with at the time, when it was like right at the top, I was trying to tell her, I was like now is not put money in.
No,
And
no,
she's like,
fuck no.
she's like, yeah, just trust me. Like you can put one, it's gonna go to the moon. Blah blah blah. I'm like, it's not gonna make more money. Like you're not
Yeah,
gonna
it's
have a
a-
win from this.
It's like that safe moon coin people were talking about.
Yeah.
Right? Like my brother was on one. Like he was like, you gotta get it. I'm like, yeah, sweet, no worries. Couldn't fucking do it for the life of me, bro, because you had to get like 3 different apps and then link all that shit
Oh my
together
gosh.
and all that stuff. So he ended up doing it, but he doesn't talk about it now.
No,
Yeah.
no. I think a few of the boys went through it, and now I've not had a word.
yeah.
Quiet
And
down real quick, bro.
yeah, and that's the thing. Like, yeah, you have some wins, you have some losses.
Yeah, man. You
Yeah.
gotta risk it, bro. Like if you don't take the chance, you never know. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, 100%.
So, fuck.
100%.
Gotta do it. But
Awesome.
love the interview, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Have a look. Look at the camera. Tell them all your socials, where you want them to follow you, and any events you have coming up as well. This is going out Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
All right.
So-
So River Fire's obviously no good.
No.
Got that 5 million. Yeah, so you can follow me on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Trippa_MC, TRIPPAMC, or on Facebook, Travis Lee. And yeah.
Hell yeah.
Events coming up. Brendan, what was that guy? That UK rapper? What was his name? Forgot his name.
Bro, it's gonna be like H or someone like
Yeah,
that.
it's gonna be some guy.
It'll be like Stormzy or some shit that you forgot.
Oh man, it's like Yuppie or something. I don't know. Oh, it's bad. When he asked me, he goes, "Oh, what's your next artist?" I showed him. He's like, "Oh, I know that guy." I'm like, "Yeah." Oh, I can never remember his name. That's
Well,
why,
if you want
bro.
to see a sick UK artist. See him when?
Yeah, 12th of October or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know,
yeah.
Shades. Yeah, he sold out his show. He had to get a venue upgrade, and I'm doing the after party for it.
Nice,
but like,
nice.
yeah, I mean, there's always stuff coming up.
Yeah.
Like, Hefs is gonna be at Shades.
Hooligan Hefs, yeah,
soon,
that man.
so
That'd
yeah,
be cool.
yeah. He's the only one that I haven't had in Shades. He's
Yeah.
like my holy grail. So
That'd be cool.
a good
hopefully
night.
after today's meeting, I can tick that one off.
That'd be good.
Yeah, that'd be really good, man.
Oh,
We'll
fuck
probably
yeah.
see you at a few events too now. Like,
Yeah.
we've obviously built a relationship and stuff.
Yeah,
so
yeah, for
we'll-
sure. Whenever I'm doing something, come along. Like, I don't know if he's want to interview people. There's a guy there that like
I would love
he goes
to.
on an app and he like full brings like a tripod and like a lighting thing and a mic and he like interviews people at Shades while I've
Yeah,
got
that's
artists on and
dope.
stuff.
Yeah.
That'd
that's
be cool.
mad.
We
Yeah.
definitely we want to talk to you about something like that. We definitely want to do something.
Yeah.
Like there's I think the sky's the limit. with
Yeah,
what we can
100%.
do. So.
Definitely want to
100%.
collab, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like be good.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you very much for coming,
Thanks,
man.
bro.
Really
All good,
appreciate it. And thank you. See you next time.
Laters.
Thanks, guys.